or some midday madness because the market's still trying to break it out. It could do it. You got DJT moving around here, but let's go to Sharif and Adara. Learn to trade, everybody. We're back at 2.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. That in the green this time is your girl Adara, and I am Sharif, and we're going to wait for everyone to come on over. Oh, my man is already in the chat. Big smile, big spile, big style. Burdette, shout out to him, man. Good to have you in back. We got the OG Darwin, 2 pimps. He knows exactly what that is. We got Bot Rakes Joe. What's up, Joe? GME broke out. He says Pawns, Fawns, Vicky and Novak, a proper paradox. And we got my man, Pattern Day Trader, Cesar Sandoval, and Paul Goodson. Christopher Holcomb joining us as well. Oscarito and Derek Thompson. Ron John. We got Blue Arrow and my man, Gorev. Let's go to you too, sir. We got 1320. Oh! And we got the Sankofa and Jimmy J. Lionel Flores and Blind leader Yannick Nesbeth. We got Alaric B and Mary S. Lyman. Welcome back, Mary. Hamster, shout out to the hamster one. We got the beautiful Gate, as well as Nania Biz, TH, Tony Price, Day Trader Cut. Let's go, my man. There's a bunch of small cap gappers. Let's get them, you and I. Neo Rob and the new Mexico Misfit. I love that name. Shout out to you. I think that's the first time I'm calling you out. Kenneth C. and Kirk Brooks joining us as well. Good morning, Adara.
Good morning, Sharif. How are you doing today?
Cannot complain, Adara. It is Friday. It is hot. You know what? Out there, and it's sunny, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. So who's going to say no to that?
I don't know who, but you know what?
Probably somebody.
This show is brought to you by Slight Sadness. Look who got stopped out here on Adobe. I just want to show you guys this chart. This is chart ache. This isn't heartache, Sharif. This is chart ache. We're not emotional while trading, which is why I didn't panic, get back in. But like, look at this.
That's a beautiful idea there, Dare.
Thank you. And clearly, like, I was correct. But again, you know, and Opie said this before too. Does it? You know, you can be right and then be wrong because you got the timing wrong. In this case, I don't even think the timing was wrong. My stop was maybe too conservative. Also, I want to shout out Wayne for helping set me up with some cool brand new stop orders today. So that helped me be very chill in this Adobe trade. Like I said, I had some stop issues on Broadcom yesterday. So that should all be good. Now, speaking of Broadcom, I have thoughts on that. But quickly, I'm just going to run through Adobe. I like the VWAP long here. I like the idea of breaking out that 536 with these higher lows. And yeah, then that didn't happen because we, and Sharif was like, you know, like maybe next time get a little bit low VWAP though. He got why I did it because with Adobe I did risk $1. You have to with Adobe. I was trying to make minimum like I want at least 2, so it's all good. If I see something nice around 536, I will get involved, and I think 535 is a decent risk area from what I'm seeing on the book. But we'll watch, we'll wait. AVGO though, to quickly talk about before I pass it back to Sharif and the lesson. AFGO, I initially was thinking was a short. I talked a lot. I don't know if I talked about it. I think I might have talked about it yesterday, but I definitely witnessed it. I definitely ranted to Sharif about it yesterday. That 164.50 area on Broadcom being crazy support. So today, we have lower highs into that. I was like, man, if we break below that, that's going to be the short of the century. You know what it wasn't? The short of the century. Because now we're getting these higher lows. So if we bounce here off 165.60, you know, you can risk that into the next low here. I like this pop. And Broadcom's like, oh, cool, you have ideas? I don't have to respect them at all. So thanks, Broadcom. We'll see what happens here on this market. Also, I like to give you guys always my daily side chart rundown. Adobe, Boeing, SPY, Oracle, AVGO, IWM, Moderna, Starbucks, and shout out to my man, Kelly Ortberg, because I just said Boeing, so he might be coming out of the woodwork there. But let's also talk about reversal days.
Yeah, your boy's he's got to pick up the pace there at Boeing, Adara. That might be some trouble.
Yeah, Kelly, I mean, it's been kind of a smelly situation there. I don't want to.
Smelly Kelly?
Smelly Kelly, Smelly Ortberg. I don't know.
Get
Sorry,
it
yeah, but shout out to Kelly Ortberg in the chat. I do appreciate the mileage that has been gotten out of that joke.
All right, we're going to shout out the big spiled one, $10 super chat, just to start off things on a good note. Love this guy. When blood? He asks. Bought SPX puts at retest of SPY 56.20, 562, 50. Let's get down. Missed you all yesterday. We missed you, big spiled one. I know you were out on a job. Kill it, my man. Thank you for joining us again. And if you're into trading the SPY, the Fuge in general, keep your eye out for big spiles levels. Also, Dan, the dang man, Emmons as well, always trading the NQ futures contract into that kind of thing. Keep your eye out in the chat. They're always dropping their levels. Shout out to both of them. Let's get to the lesson. We're ending our conversation about trend with what ends the trend, a reversal day. Perfect segue. So let's get to that. Today, we'll dive into the concept of reversal days, a key chart pattern used to identify potential market turning points. This concept is particularly useful in trend analysis, where understanding when the market might reverse is crucial for effective trading strategy. So reversal days can signal the end of an uptrend, a downtrend. It doesn't make a difference. Recognizing them, though, and recognizing them early will help traders make better informed decisions. Today, we'll explore the characteristics of the top reversal as well as the bottom reversal and the significance of volume with those reversals and how these patterns can extend into the weekly and the monthly charts, not just the daily and intraday. So let's get right to it. We'll talk about what everything is on a very general sense, as we typically do for the newer traders. So a reversal day occurs at the top or at the bottom of a trend and signals the potential turning point. So the winds of change. You've heard me say that on the show. There are two types of reversals. The first, a top reversal day. Prices reach a new high, then close lower than the previous day's close. This is operative. We have to think about that. We make a new high, but we end up closing lower than the previous day's close. Imagine what that looks like in a candle. That is the mother of all topping tail candles. Bottom reversal day, the exact opposite. Prices hit a new low, but then close higher than the previous day's close. We've talked about candlestick patterns in the past. This is one of them, but we're not talking it from a candlestick pattern perspective. We're talking about it from a chart perspective. So here's kind of what it looks like. And I should tell you that this lesson is based on John J. Murphy's conclusion of chapter 4, the reversal days. So we'll be basing it on his perception of things. So this is the bar chart, obviously. You can see we make a new high, but look where the closing print is on the previous day. Boom, we close much below that. Same look over here. So this is a top reversal. This is a bottom reversal. That's kind of what they look like, just we can understand the depiction. So the characteristics of a reversal day. Typically, prices open strongly, as we mentioned, in the direction of the current trend, whether a new high, whether a new low. And then later that day, prices reverse direction, creating a sharp move against the trend by closing either lower or higher, depending if it's a long or a short, depending on the reversal type. The range, this is important. The range, the distance between the high and the low of the day is usually much, much wider than normal for that particular instrument. That's one way to identify them, obviously, indicating significant market action. Volume in this type of reversal pattern is super important. So let's talk about it, especially heavy volume on a reversal day adds weight to its significance. For example, if the top reversal occurs on higher than normal volume, it could indicate a strong selling pressure. Similarly, a bottom reversal day with high volume is often referred to as a selling climax. Where have we heard that before? So we were going to hear about the buying climax. Right now, we're talking about the selling climax. Essentially, this is where the sellers are exhausted and the buyers end up taking control. Selling climax, sellers exhausted, buying taking control, and we can kind of look for the volume to help gauge that. So what are the types of reversal days? We kind of prefaced this in the beginning, the top reversal day. Let's talk about that. So in this scenario, the price moves to a new high during the day, but within that same day, it reverses and closes below the previous day's close. This is indicating to you that the bullish momentum that preceded that big move is weakening, and it could actually signal the start of a new downtrend. Doesn't have to be the start of a new downtrend. We could consolidate, but keep in mind that it could be. So you should be on the lookout for lower lows and lower highs. And here's what it looks like. So we're chugging along on the S&P 500, yada, yada, yada. We get this big boy candle. And then basically that's where it ends there. And then we have its exact opposite on the bottom on the right. So it's on the middle. That's the top reversal day. This is a bottom reversal day. So let's talk about that bottom reversal day. It's kind of the exact opposite of a top. Prices make a new low, but within that same day, it reverses and closes higher, signaling exhaustion of that selling pressure. This day often marks, I should say, the end of a downtrend and is referred to as the selling climax. And here's kind of what it looks like IRL. We're chugging along on the move down here on the E-mini, and then boom, that's the end of where it is, and then we end up closing a little bit higher than the previous day's low. Let's talk about some additional patterns. We'll call these two outside days and the weekly and monthly reversal. Let's start with the outside day first. So when both the high and the low on the reversal day exceed those of the previous day, so when both the high and the low on the reversal day exceed those of the previous day, so there has to be a gap there of some sort unless the wick comes in, the reversal becomes even more significant, forming what we call an outside day. This pattern suggests heightened volatility and is often associated with important turning points for that particular instrument, as showed here in the next chart for the Dow Jones Industrials. So this is what we call an outside reversal day, and that's when the high and the low on the day exceed those of the previous days. And this is applicable to both the top reversals and bottom reversals. And here is kind of exactly what it kind of looks like as well. 2 slides for this one, an outside candle. Let's talk about some weekly and monthly reversal patterns. We don't just chart on the daily, obviously more credence on the higher time frames. So reversal patterns are not limited, obviously, to daily charts. They also occur on the weekly and monthly time frames. A weekly reversal is more significant as it reflects the longer-term shift in the market sentiment. For instance, an upside weekly reversal happens when prices drop during the week but recover to close above the previous Friday's high. So you'll be able to see that reflected on the candle. Obviously, it'll look like, for a bottom, it'll look like a bottoming tail candle. For the top, it'll look like an inverse hammer candle. And it's more important than on the daily, for sure. No question about it. The higher we go up on the time frame, the more important. So let's talk about some practical applications of this concept. First, we're going to talk about identifying reversals in real time. So traders should monitor price action closely near the areas of key support and resistance for signs of reversal. So you're watching at those levels, those specific levels, for heavy volume and extended price range during the day, which often precedes the reversal. Pay close attention, though, to the close of day, as it's the most important indicator as those market on close orders come in. So if there is real market bearishness or bullishness, you're typically seeing that in the market on open orders or the market on close orders. Obviously, there are exceptions where there's big boy buying midday, but keep your eye on those imbalances at the end and how it closes. Now let's talk about incorporating reversals days into your trading plan. How are you going to incorporate it? So use reversal days either as confirmation when planning entries or exits. For example, after a bottom reversal day, traders could consider entering a long position if it's warranted and if other technicals show that it's valid, if the reversal is confirmed with subsequent bullish action. Conversely, after a top reversal day, you can exit a long position or initiate a short position. You could consider that as well. So to conclude, reversal days are essential tools for identifying potential turning points in the market. But remember, the heavier the volume and the wider the range on the reversal day, the more significant the reversal is likely to become. And don't forget to look for these patterns, not just on the daily charts, but on the weekly and the monthly charts as well. I hope everybody prints up a storm.
Yeah, we hope everyone prints up a storm. I am not right now. I'm going to be really real. So IWM, I feel good about this trade right now. I don't feel anything. I don't have emotions, but this trade seems okay. So I'm short here 215 79s. I guess you're trading Google then today with your googly eyes.
That's fantastic, Adira.
I mean, to be fair, I think that was why Ramin got them. So I can't even take credit for that. Shout out to Ramin. But basically, so I had my stop here 216.01. And then we get to I don't even think we get to 216 on the ask, and then we fall. So I was like, okay, dope. To be fair, this might be some weird support at 215.80s, so that could be dicey. But here's the plan for this trade. Given the rejection, okay, and as I said, we're trying to bid up higher. Given the rejection here, like all of these kind of red candles here, I think we could still go lower. If we break below that 215.60 here, which was hard support earlier, that's where I would be adding to the position, and then we're going to start taking out here around 215.20s. However, if we break above 216 and I see that hold on the book, that's where I'd be going long. Here's the thing. Basically, I did again, I usually don't look at P&L, but I kind of had to look to see how my risk was doing because I like having my new stop orders, but I think because my stocks are spreadier, you get a little bit of slippage, which I had to be aware of. So some things slipped a little bit more than I would have wanted them to. So I have to address, look at that for myself.
Oh, yeah.
This Broadcom long here, we got it boring. I got involved, we held VWAP. I risked into kind of the next area of support, didn't work out. Next trade, ADBE, that long also didn't work out. I think this is rejecting, but I said in the chat here, I'm not trading this again unless I see something like crazy, and I highly doubt I will. Bless you. Ramin there. So it looks like we're not flattened out of this EWIM yet, so hopefully this wasn't a trade that I took on an IWIM here. Let's find out. Good luck, Googles, says live trader, says Ramin. So good luck there. Good luck to you here as well. Let's see what happens here in this EWIM, because I am feeling, again, no emotions for my trading, but it's been a bit of a yucky week for me, but that just means the only way to go is up.
Bang.
Although your P&L can always go lower, but your positivity can always go higher. That's what I've realized. And I get motivated by having things go against it. It just means you got to work 20 times harder. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. And let's keep voting for tickers.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't vote for tickers, what Sharif could gesticulate wildly about?
I know.
I mean, he could probably gesticulate wildly about, like, the Arsenal.
I can't.
But, you don't want, like, gun for your tickers. I'm not even talking about the gunners. You can gun for whatever ticker you want to see.
Adara, riddled with injuries. We're riddled with injuries, Adara.
I mean, to be fair, you guys are named after guns. Like, I guess that makes sense.
But none of them had to do with gun injuries, thank God.
I figured.
It was the international break. Go ahead.
Also, apparently that was a typo. Ramin's Google luck was a typo. That was a beautiful typo. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty, Ramin, but that was also still dope. Quickly, before I throw it back to you, Armando Zapata mentioning one of my favorite tickers here that I probably do not have enough risk or mental stability, no, I'm joking, to trade right now, and that is SMCI. Up over 5%, 15% short float for the McKeed one. So that is worth noting here. This is a super move. It is not very micro. It is a nice move to the upside. Oh, I'm upset I saw this, Sharif. Look at that 460.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is like my type of trade. 466 support resistance flip. I would have to risk this super tight, and I don't know if that's the vibe for SMCI, but I'm not going to lie, I do have eyes on this. Thank you, Armando Zapata. This is going on a side chart. Somebody's getting the boot, and no offense to Kelly Orberg, I think it's going to be Boeing, because there's not much for me in that sky right now. But the sky's the limit for SMCI for me. So I think if I risk that super tight, if it makes sense, the key might be my move. How are you doing?
I'm in Google. We'll see how this ends up. I'm going to get stopped out if it breaks through 25, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Look, I was surprised with Google today because it seems to be awfully strong. Is it the strongest Meg? It is. Goog and Google are independently the strongest names on the day in Meg. 7 World 1.7 and 1.73 respectively. And so I was looking at this, obviously, to start out the day. It had a nice hold at the 20 exponential. I could base my trade off that 157.20, 157.16, or wherever the 20 exponential is hanging out. But I front ran it a little bit, basing it essentially on this green candle to make a new high. So we'll see if this candle can hold that high and whether I can print. We're about 10, we were 10 pennies in the money. Nothing to write about. I'm going to look to take profit ahead of that. $0.75 we'll pack our patience. We get stopped out through the $0.25, then that is the trade. Keeping an eye on the future as well, up 0.4. Let's put respect on this one's name. And I was looking to see what discernible patterns there were on some of these Mag 7s. Other than Google obviously being strong, I was gauging possibly a double bottom on Apple at this 222.5. We had kind of a manifestation of that because it broke through 223.5, which was like that neckline of the double bottom. But you're seeing topping tail candles come in to that 223.75 area. Technically, on the day, 223.85 is the high, but we made that in the implied balance open. So we didn't do it after that hour. So we'll keep tabs on Apple. I was watching for a double bottom and a possible continuation, but in the back of my mind, I do know that my bias with Apple is we are in a state of accumulation at the moment where we zig and zag in that low to mid 220s, and I don't expect any breakouts here unless there's some news that the market wasn't expecting. So keeping my eye there. Going back to the Google trade, just got stopped out through the break of the $0.25, so I'm not going to keep trading this and get stopped out. We're going to have to set up something a little bit different right now. And yeah, we've been putting in lows. I mean, lower highs, quite frankly, since making that top at 158, almost 40, 158.38. So back in my patience, 0 for 2 already to start here on goggles. And then we'll see exactly what we get. Let's bring in some of the small cap gappers, which I have had a fantastic time trading as of late. Donald Dang John Trump is up, just printed highs not that long ago at 1707. Triple top, through 17 and change over there. So that'll be interesting. Yet it's still trading above the 10 exponential moving average on the 5 at around 1680. The volume, though, is dropping off on Donald John Trump. So I don't want to get in here. I'd rather get in a bit somewhere safer. I like this area crest from the IB high at 1659. It also jives with where the volume weighted average price is hanging out. So I could be persuaded to front run this possibly at 16 and 2/3 in and around there. Yeah. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate that. So we'll keep tabs right now on Donald John Trump, and we'll talk about many more of these small cap gappers after we pay some bills, Adara, because that's kind of what we have to do around here.
Yeah, gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, Adara.
These lights don't turn on themselves.
All right, are you guys tired of being late to the trade? Are you always playing catch up in the market? Are you missing out, Adara, on the big moves because you're too dang slow to the news? If so, Benzinga Pro is your unfair advantage. Get those breaking news alerts up to 30 minutes before everybody else and pinpoint exactly why stocks are moving. And yes, join a thriving community of traders who share their strategies in real time. Are you ready to see how Benzinga Pro can transform your trading? If so, visit benzinga.com/pro and get yourself that free 14-day trial. Shout out to the good folks at Benzinga, Adara.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Benzinga. Russell 2000, I'm not going to shout you out right now because you're just kind of chilling. I think, okay, I might have been a bit premature here. I was like, so basically I was like, okay, I'll take some out here if we get to 40s. We did not get to 40s. I was like, okay, cool. I think there's some kind of bounce and we just got stopped out. So it's all good there. Took another L, so I'm doing the opposite of 21 Savage now, taking less L's, making more M's. We are taking more L's, but you know what that means, Sharif?
What?
Someday we'll make M's. I don't know. I'm making the song my own. Shout out to 21 Savage. Yeah, so like I said, depending on what we do at 215, I'm okay flipping long here. That was a correct, and in retrospect, it's like, you know, there clearly was some strength there. It's all good. You'll figure out, you'll find a new trade, you'll find new opportunities. As Obi always says, where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for right now, and I don't have one. SPCE was like, yeah, what, long off 466? So that was a good opportunity that I'm happy I didn't take there. Because, yeah, that actually rejecting a bit here. But then we get a bottoming tail candle. So I'm going to let SMCI do its thing because it might be super micro, but it's also super bamboozling. Ooh. So that happened. And now you want to reject again? IWM? Okay, cool. Thanks. Whatever, fine. Gotta love these stocks and they treat you like...
They treat you like...
They treat you like dirt. Like,
yeah, we come back to them every day, Adara.
We're gluttons for punishment.
Every day.
We are gluttons for punishment. I might start a really small position here in Apple, but I want to wait and see what happens because there are two levels I like, and I think Apple's ping-ponging between them right now. 233.35. Look at how well we held this. Then, though, you've got that top... Okay, Apple, I think you are a short, and I think you're a short into 223.60s, and I don't know how I want to play you or why I want to play you. I need to figure this out. But I think this thing's already falling like aggressively, so I probably missed that opportunity. Yeah, it's been not my day or not my week, but that's the thing. Your markets are going to give you. You have to bring your A game every single day. And yeah, you know, like I said, it is what it is, right? You're going to keep pushing, keep going, and hopefully that Donald John pumps for you. Also, guys, any tickers you're looking at that you want us to make puns about or you don't want us to make puns about, we're sorry. Get into the chat here, exclamation point, join space, $, that ticker. One ticker that has been on watch the last few days here has been Moderna, and I'm pretty confident that I can't tell what it's doing right now. Look at this lower high, slightly higher lows. I'll watch what it does here at 66.40s, which actually ironically is I think an area where I added yesterday in this long off 66. If it rejects here, RIP, but I think it might bounce, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, though, not as confident in my read in these markets right now, so we're going to take a moment, we're going to breathe. Now IWM is pumping off 216, so that might be a long. Lots of levels I have an eye on. Also, if AVGO ever breaks below 164, I'm taking that all the way. Go markets, go times. Trader Cut saying, interested, I like this comment. These big drops don't mean nothing if they buy it right back up in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of bamboozlement, right? I think that comment kind of summarizes that. So let's see, Apple's trying to pop now. EWM's trying to pop now. I definitely missed my EWM long. But the great thing in the market is there's always new opportunities, Sharif. How you doing?
My shirt is unbuttoning.
Oh, never mind. I'll keep talking. So AVGO at kind of an interesting level here. If we kind of break below this VWAP level, this could maybe be, you know what? We're going to take a really small position here, and we're going to short this. We are going to short this. So Pardon?
Thank you. I'm good.
Okay, you're good? Okay,
Yeah.
pass it back to Sharif. Hello, Sharif. How are you
Yes, we had a wardrobe malfunction, not the one at the Super Bowl or anything like that, but
Oh my God,
it
thank
was a little
gosh.
bit of a malfunction there. Dara, we're sorry, Neil. I apologize. You know, I shouldn't mention that. All right, I'm in Donald John Trump right now. Get it, Neil? I'm in DJT. I've got a plan DCA here. I'm going to look to defend the $0.75 area. This area trough over here isn't that far away from this area crest. Crest showing at 60, excuse me, trough showing up at 70. I'm going to look to defend that 70 penny level. I've already put my stop. We're going to look to trade Donald John Trump. But this is not the only dang one that's moving. There is a lot of small cap gappers, and I'm sorry I got interrupted by Benzinga ad read when we were talking about this. Okay, so Donald John Trump up 4.5%. Yeah, not the greatest percentage, but good look on the chart. WHLR continues to print. So does SMMT. And I'm going to get to all those in a second, but we'll start off with WHLR. This is another holdover from a couple of days ago. It's been zigging and zagging. Today it's having a good day. Yesterday, not so much. Started out at around $4. Now we're knocking the door of that 675. So let's put some details on WHLR. Almost $12 million market cap, 4 2/3 million shares traded today, and 500,000 share float, 464,000 shares. This thing can go parabolic if it gets a bid. Let's see exact. Oh, I didn't load up trade ideas. Silly me. So we're going to load up trade ideas and wait for a second there to find out exactly what the short float is on WHLR. But while I tell you about that, let me tell you about this. This stock has been a dang rocket on the daily. SMMT. Have a look at this daily chart, boys and girls. This thing has been flying. We were at, in May, not that long ago, May 30th, we were at $3. Now we're at $32.65, the high. It really got going. I mean, it's been having a good time since May, but it really got its footing under it September 9th, and we have not looked back. Look at that greenery there on the chart. So this has been closing out at the highs almost every day. So the strength on this one should not be disrespected. It's up a 19% today, or almost right now. So I'm going to keep my eye certainly on SMMT. We'll look to get it on possibly a better technical level. It's had a lot of respect for the 10 exponential and the 5, and I'm not surprised with that because it's just been so directionally a high to the high side. So it stands to reason that, you know, we don't get those nice retracements perfectly that's set up into the 10. So we're going to have to front run this if we want to trade it. Otherwise, we got to wait for a better setup. Let me bring in trade ideas and shout out the NOS boss and his crew there and look at the short float for WHLR. Didn't have a chance to look at that. 17.12% with a float of 541,000. Of that 541,000, 17.12% is short. WHLR can fly. It's got all the right recipes, or all the right ingredients, I should say. Whether it manifests or not, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So we're going to keep WHLR on there with SMMT. I got to tell you about Redfin as well. Look at the direction on Redfin. Kind of looking like it's maybe consolidating a little bit right now with that 13.5 area acting as resistance, topping tail through 1360. I'd like ideally a $13 pullback into the volume weighted average price. We'll see what we get, and we won't get upset. But this one is on the look or on the watch list as well. AZUL, a good looking chart, but poop volume. So it's not doing the kind of volume that would give you confidence of that you can get in and get out without any trouble. It's a good looking chart, but it's going to have to pick up on volume. FTEL. This is the mother of all topping tail candles right now. I'm kidding about that, but this one looks like it is on the reverse. If it holds up at this 2150 where VWAP is hanging out, it changes the trade. Right now, though, it looks like it's going green or red and that Christmas tree retracement. So we'll keep eyes on that. GIVO, you guys saw me trade GIVO. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I forget. This one is now claimed $1. We are now looking like we're going to use that dollar as support. It reclaimed it there in right at the open there at 940, and we really haven't been below $1 since that time. In fact, VWAP now well above $1 at $1.06, and when I say well above, I'm speaking relatively here. It's a dollar stock. So fantastic amount of these small cap gappers today. It's just about whether we execute appropriately on them in there.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate you saying appropriate execution because I feel like that has been my issue. Like, you know, it turns out you could have like your fun little stop order set, but that doesn't change problems with your trading. And, you know, like shout out to Adobe, not giving this enough risk, and then you miss opportunities. So it's all good there. I mean, I would love that 531 level, but truthfully, probably do not have enough, not able to dedicate that to that, the risk that it would deserve. SMCI, another great looker there. I hate that I said that, but we're going to, you know, just breeze by the fact that I called a stock a looker and just keep yapping. So, Yapple here. I'll yapple about Apple. Apple, I think, actually, I feel, I get no feelings, but I like this look here. Look at this 90 EMA bounce. I said I want to see what we did at 223.30. What we did at 223.30, Sharif, is ran. We popped. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I want to see what we do here at 223. If we push above these wicks here at 75, I think that would be a decent add area that we'll start taking out at 224s. That's going to be the plan. I'm not going to add too much here. So I don't think the stock needs all that pizzazz, but I do, I want to give it, again, I want to put, you know, be able to put risk on, give it what it deserves. AVGO I've been watching here as well. Avgo, but Avgo hasn't really, Avgone. We're holding up decently here. This support of 73. If we break below that, that's when I would start shorting because I do think it's kind of a short here potentially. To be fair, off that bottom of that pivotal level I love, the 164.50, we have higher lows. But you know what else we have, Sharif? What? So many lower highs. So I don't know. It needs to pick a direction, but if it does, if it picks a lane, I'm gonna go beep beep, pull up, pick it up outside, take it on a date. You know, make sure its hair looks nice. I don't know. We'll go to the movies. We'll go to like a diner. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yes, that's what I'm here with Apple. Apple is a really slow burn trade here for me. But IWM, you're doing things. IWM once routinely rejecting 216. I know because I was at it. And now we're bouncing off 216, potentially speaking. That being said, this also looks a bit head and shouldery. However, this 216 bounce is fairly significant. I was watching the book on that. I was like, is it a short again here? You know what we do? We're like, oh, what's a short? Just keeps popping. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, wow. Okay, I think my short opportunity for Broadcom may have come in. Apple looking like it's swishing up. Maybe things are maybe looking up Adara. I don't know. We'll find out. But like I said, I'm still trying to strike that sweet spot between a conservative stop that makes sense and giving yourself room for the trade to run. But that's what, you know, your brain has to work and grow every single day. Shout out to Firefly.
Absolutely. I love it.
Thank you.
Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing something, but there's...
Tell me more.
It's revolutionizing brain health. Our groundbreaking brain network technology transforming care for patients with depression, dementia, anxiety, concussions, and with 15 years of research and a wealth of brain data, we're set to illuminate the future of diagnostics and treatment. Pharmaceutical companies and medical practitioners, get ready. FDA 510K cleared BNA technology is here to supercharge your trials and enhance. Join us at Firefly Neuroscience, traded on the NASDAQ as IFF and be part of the next big. I hope one brain at a time cannot. I love this kind of thing. Alzheimer's does run in my family, and it's ugly. Yeah, we're gonna absolutely out and hope that they cure. That's a look there. Let's look at what we're doing right now. We're in Google. We're looking for a 157 VWAP defend. We're in Donald John Trump looking to add at 1670. All the while knowing exactly that this is the level that we need to be holding, this 10 penny level from 1670 to 1660. I realize this is trading like a small cap gapper and the bamboozlement can be fast, furious, and real. So I place my stop to account for that. If I get wicked out, I get wicked out. That's a situation. The trouble I'm having with is the market is kind of a little bit stronger. You see Apple, the future near close to highs, and Google's just become dead weight. Not holding 157. Let's see if it holds a volume weighted average price. It looks like I'm getting stopped out for the third time today if we breach this level over here. But it looks like I'm betting on the wrong horse to go long, or so it feels, because Apple is pumping into the high or close to high. What? Oracle, something's going on with Oracle. Mike. Okay. So sorry, guys, we're having issues with the mic. We will apologize about that, but Obi telling me something's afoot with Oracle. So let's go over here and have a look at what ORCL is doing. Do we have anything on that?
I'm not seeing.
Here,
There's a lot of Twitter. I don't know.
Oracle is maintained. Heard on the street. What is this? Heard on the street. What is this showing up for you? Oracle used annual user conference now. All right. Well, this is the price action here right now on Oracle. It is on the way down, but this has been going down the entire day. That aggressive flush, saying. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So it did dip quite aggressively. Obi making the point that it came from that 163.75-ish area, dipped down aggressively into 162. In fact, the print of the low day right now, 161.74. Is the thing red? No. Wow. Oracle just about to go flat. It is only up 0.86 after being up high single digits to start the day. So interesting look right now on Oracle. We're going to have to keep an eye out there. Keep in mind that if you do like the closing prints as areas of support and resistance on these names, Oracle's closing print from yesterday prior to the earnings bump, 161.33. We just dipped in there into 161.75. So we'll see if we find support. Right now, we have a bottoming tail candle on the 5. So we'll have to see how that manifested there.
Yeah, I'm just watching Apple here. There's not much to report on this. I'm getting out if we break below. I'm doing prior bar lows on the 5. So if we break below 53s, I'm going to be out of Dodge, getting out of Dodge. I don't know words. But, yeah, I don't know. This trade is happening. There's not much to report, sorry. I'll be adding, I think, one more piece here if we get above 75s. I added on that push here above into like 70s initially, but that was pretty anemic, and we are going to have to get out of here. I'm going to be watching this book here. Yeah, we're going to get out there. Good times. I mean, no, not actually. It was pretty brief. Yeah, not like I said, the trading has been a little yucky, but things can be cleaned up, stops, choices, rooms. Lots of things can be cleaned up. So hopefully this trading will get cleaned up here today. Oh yeah, I just saw this on Twitter. I literally just pulled up my Twitter to look for the Oracle news, and look what pulled up here.
Katina, man. I love it.
Sean and his thing, and he said, proud to sponsor. He's got a big old smile on his face, so shout out to Sean. Happy to have him there. Apple, maybe flu. I don't know, Sharif. My read on this market is like as bad as my read without my contacts, and I have like vision that is so bad. My eye doctor says my left eye will never be fine even with contacts. So, sarcasm aside, yeah, I feel like I can't. This market and I are not besties right now. I'm just trying to find opportunities, but you got to stay positive, right? Like, and you got to admit.
Can I read out what your boy Kelly Ortberg wrote in the chat?
I totally missed it.
I loved it. He's talking to Elon in the chat. We obviously know one of our viewers. His name is Elon. So, Mr. Kelly Ortberg, hey Elon, do you think Optimus could assemble aircrafts and do machinist work? Oh, sorry, wrong chat. Yo, your jokes, bro. I love
this guy's commitment to the bit.
The bit is quality. Shout out to the OG there, Kelly Ortberg, in the chat. We're loving your sense of humor, brother. Thank you for bringing that kind of humor on a Friday. Keeping it light, keeping it funny. We do appreciate you, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but that was just too funny to not.
That was really good.
There. Come on.
Yeah, also Kyle Burdett being funny here too, saying, did you get a new software update that allows you to express sarcasm? I guess, yeah, okay, guys, I also should address this because I get this a lot. I'm not a robot, nor am I an AI. No, I'm not. I know Kyle Burdett didn't mean that. I'm just saying, because I get that a lot.
Yeah.
No, I do get that a lot, which is why I said that. I just, I enjoy a pun. I am not very good at sarcasm, but I do love the markets. So maybe that I am a robot because algos do that too. I don't know. But good times. You got to laugh. You got to be able to have a joke. And I shout out to Skull. Stay positive. Yeah, you have to, right? I think that's the thing, and that's why I always like to keep that positive attitude. Your mindset can be green even when your PNL is not. And in my case, the color of my PNL would be the color of my outfit last Friday. Ooh. But you know what? You just got to keep going, got to keep pushing. Also, yeah, guys, I wore green today for everyone because I know there's a lot of concerns. Obi and I are both in green sweaters, so accidental matching there. Happy Friday the 13th, says live trading by Tradertv.live. I like this for Tony here. Go to trading like 2 or 3 stocks only versus bouncing and work on that. Maybe that will help finding good daily vibes. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't take any offense to that. I've tried that, and I find then I get too anchored to those stocks, and then I only want to trade those, right? So I appreciate that idea. I think I'm still trying to figure out what works for me. And to be clear, I don't even think all my ideas were necessarily wrong. You're like, Adobe, that first long off VWAP was the right idea. My stop was too aggressive. I do think my stops are a decent portion of what my issue is, but that's why you're not going to learn unless you take the fills and you take the L's. And that's what I'm really, it's not fun to take the L's, but you have to get used to losing. And I think that is really key here as well. I was reading this tweet from Linda Raschke, who is like a noted trader who follow her on Twitter. She's really dope. And she was basically saying that the biggest thing, like for people she trains or people she helps work with or whatever, and mentors, the biggest issue is going to be like the mindset, people who don't care about the psychology and the mindset and the process. And that's why, as I said, for me, P&L means progress and learning. So I appreciate what you have to say. You have to figure things out every single day. How are you doing over here?
Good. We got our DCA into DJT. Now it's going to be whether or not it moves up or down. The stops are in place. Everything is done. And we're going to have to let this manifest one way or another. So here's where I got in initially at 1682. And then I did add to defend that 1670 level owing to this area trough. I'm alive to the fact that we have an area crest and an area trough that are separated by 10 pennies. You know, usually they're basically the same level, but, you know, front running and aggressive buying or selling at those levels sometimes prevents it from ascending or descending into that actual level. So I'm holding, you know, everything's done here. The stop is in place. The beak wetters are not, because I'd like to see exactly how it trades. So we'll pack our patience and see there. Now, I want to let you know that SMMT is at the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. And I'm really interested in this name, but it did do this kind of double candle rejection over here, so into 33. So I am a lot, you know, I don't want to say it got too extended off the 10 because I really don't feel that it got that extended. But I don't want to sit here and, you know, put an order at 32 just because the 10 exponential is moving there. I'd rather get something a little bit better, whether it's, you know, off that 31 level to deal with this topping tail candle, which could have been resistance. Right now, it does look like it's finding support at 32. We'll have to see. I want to get involved in SMMT over here. Sorry, I don't have the ticker on. I do apologize about that. SMMT. And throw that in there so we can follow along. But yeah, there, well, shows how much I know. It just bounced 30 pennies, 40 pennies off that $32 level. So we'll keep tabs on this one. Can't win them all. I got this on my watch, though. We'll see if it does set up and print new highs. So that's a look there. Let's have a look at GVO. Just found support at the 20, but it's kind of light on volume here. Not a bad look for GVO. What else we got? WHLR also possibly coming into this area at 6 1/3, 6 1/4. It's been awfully strong. We mentioned the short float as well as the float on this one. I like it at 6 1/4 owing to these areas of resistance as well as the volume weighted average price. So I'm going to look to front run this a little bit by putting my order possibly at 650 and then with a DCA into 625 with the ultimate out at 6. So we'll pack our patience and see what we got. I just have to load these up all on trading screws. I'm going to remove GVO and put WHLR because I'd like to trade that. So we got WHLR, SMMT. Google I've done poorly on today, and DJT, we're like 4 pennies out of the money. Let's see if this one can work its way up. It's holding the level, but I'm alive to the fact that it is putting lower highs, which is fine. That's how you need to, that's how you pull back. You put lower highs for a pullback into a support level. So I'll keep my eye on this one and see what we get in there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, sorry.
I want to mention one quick thing.
Yeah.
You have a short, so talk about that first.
Yeah, so we're actually, I'm shocked to tell you all, I'm actually doing well at a trade. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, we're doing well here on Tesla. If we keep bouncing, I'm going to watch here. I want to see us break below this level I drew here of 55s. I'm not going to add to this. It's a really small position. I am taking this basically just for like the sake of trying to, get some reps in. I risked this. What I liked was what I was seeing in the book, which was an inability to hold 230. And then I also liked what I saw in the chart, which was a hard rejection on a wick basis here of 230.20, which is where my stop is. If we break back above 80s, though, I'll get out because just with I have to trust my read on this. And this is also a support area. If this bounces here, I saw the same thing happen in one of my other trades. It was IWM. If it bounces off support, that thing could actually fly way more than I want it to. So at this point, I'll get out the rest of this. If we get to 80s, let's see what happens. But I actually think we might be breaking below, Sharif. I am really happy to have this trade. Let's see what happens here. I don't know. Tesla's going to make me work for it, though, Sharif. But we have a lot of topping tail candles here in the queues. I'll pull up the queues right now because I always have my Tesla book up. Just watching my Tesla order book, seeing what we do as we head into 80s. But the queues here with some topping tail candles. Also appreciate the support from everybody in the chat talking about, the P&L, the progress and learning. Yeah, I think that's how you have to do it. I like these lower highs here on the cues with these topping tail candles. But again, Tesla is like a bratty younger sister. It doesn't respect the cues. It doesn't respect its parents. So let's see what happens. A bit of green coming into this market, but we are below 80s. I'm watching out for Tesla here. And Sharif, what were you? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Adara's going to be on for a couple of hours today, from 11 to 1. But we need some more manpower or woman power, right? We got people power. We got the OB to fill in when there is not that many, or when some of the hosts are not available. Today, the Katina man is obviously gone, so Obi's filling it for him on the big show. But today, we're going to get somebody new on the desk to kind of get their feet wet in the hosting position on the midday, maybe more. Her name is Satya. And she's been a trader on the floor here for a while. And how long has she been around here? For almost a year?
Almost a year.
Almost a year, right? Yeah, almost a year. So she's been here for a hot minute, right? And she's going to be on for an hour today. And we're really pumped to have her on. She's an excellent trader. She's been at this firm. I'm going to let her speak for herself. I don't want to ruin anybody the surprise of what she has to say. But she's going to be on today, guys, from 1 to 2 with me on the midday. So make sure to give her, the old Trader TV welcome, make her feel at home. And so, I wanted to let you know. So if you guys want to hang out at 1 o'clock, got a new trader coming on the show, and we're very excited to have her on. Shout out, Satya. She'll be on shortly. So let's have a look here at what SMMT is doing, because I'm very interested in this stock, but it has to set up the right way. It's just been so parabolic. I didn't say anything, Ram. All right. It's finding support at the 10 exponential on the 5. I guess for now, I'm more biased for $31 retracement, maybe 31 and a quarter. I'm going to pack my patience now. If it does find support at the 10 and it says the hell with your $31 level, we'll obviously look to get in. In that case, we'll get in on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say, get it to prove to you that it's going to hold the 10 before waiting there with a resting order. But ideally, I'd like to have a resting order at 31, but not 32. 31 because it's price action support. Below that, looking at 30 and a quarter, if that doesn't work, because that's where the volume weighted average price is, but we'll pack our patience and have a look. There's also umpteen amount of resistance at 30. Look at the closing prints on all these candles, reject 30. And then you got the big boy break on a closing basis at 1035. But prior to that, you'd been having a lot of trouble with it. So keeping my, packing my patience. I'm flat right now on Donald John Trump, but I feel it came in to that level that I liked where resistance flips to support, or so they say in the textbooks. Right now, that's exactly what it did. However, that doesn't mean that it curls back up and touches highs. So I'm going to be looking to wet my beak. I've got a bit of a bigger position on this one. So if we take a hit, we take a hit. That's the situation. And that's what I'm looking at right now. We'll pack our patience and see what we get there. Secure that bag for Max or Luca Magic, LOL. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so moving on here with some other small cap gappers, keeping my eye on Redfin as well. I'd like to have that $13 retracement. It's kind of putting in a bit of a rounded top RDFN. Decent day, 16 some odd %. I like that $13 dip though, Adara.
Yeah, I am doing something here. I'm trying this reversion on Tesla. I have a feeling this might not work out, but you can't trade based on feeling. You have to trade based on what you see. And this is the type of trade that I love. I love these book-based trades. I love a good reversion when it sets up. And we're kind of sort of around this pre-market top here. We're finding a bit of a base on all that selling off in TSLA. Look at all this green we got coming into the book. So I actually took this with more size than I took that initial short, and the short clearly got out too early. That's fine. I was, definitely a little bit of stress trading, and this is just due to my own poor decisions earlier today. But look, Sharif, this reversion actually playing out pretty well. Why I took it with more size, because I felt good about it. We have a stop set. We're risking into 229s, which I think is reasonable. But also, the other thing, too, is I've noticed, I'll talk a lot about cent levels with certain stocks. Being interesting. Like today, Tesla at the 20 cent level, like 230.20 I mentioned I thought was interesting. So 229.20, nice little support area. Again, this is almost a purely book-based trade, but I've always said with Tesla, I really like trading based on what I see in the book. So let's see what happens here on TSLA. I am taking half out at just before 60s, because that level, I talked about that base earlier, support resistance flips. That is the bread and butter of my trading. That is like the ciabatta and urban garlic butter of my trading style, Sharif. So let's see if this ends up popping how I would like it to. You never know if things are going to go how you like, but that's why you can't give up. You could have, like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm trading better when your back's against the wall. You just got to keep pushing, got to keep fighting, got to keep working for the trades that you believe in that make sense. Because if you don't believe in yourself, Sharif, Who's going to believe in you? Tesla's not going to believe in me. Tesla does not give a hoot.
Well, my mom believes in me, Adara, so whatever.
So does mine. Also, my dad's actually coming in town tonight, so that's cool. With his friend, they're going to a concert, so shout out to them, I guess. But not the point. The point is, that was pretty funny, Fabian.
That was good, Fabian.
But yeah, no, so not that. But let's see what happens here. Like, I love this bottoming tail candle. I don't know if it'll manifest. I'm not moving my stop. I'm still risking it to 229s. This is also like realistic given what I'm able to risk here. But like I said, took some paper cuts earlier, maybe more than a paper cut. Adobe might have stabbed us a bit, might have shivved us, but you know what? You just got to keep going.
Dark.
If you like the trade and you have the risk for it, in this case I do, you've got to go for things. A proper paradox saying garlic butter is the best. Yeah, garlic butter is dope. Thank you, a proper paradox. That is a proper opinion. No, I'm joking. All opinions are valid. But I had to shout that out. Apple, I think I had the right idea with the long, but definitely the wrong entry point. You should have been trying to get long at the 30s, but if that keeps making higher highs, higher lows, I still like that look. EWIM, that one, Russell keeps hustling up to the upside here. I love that. Wow. Really should have gotten long. It's all good, though. If we bounce off that 216.50s, that might be the opportunity. And Sharif, it actually looks like there's a small chance we'll get filled on this Tesla short or get profit on Tesla. So good luck. JKL, 146, $2 super chat. Do we break the ice on the fuse? Short it. I'll pull up the cues right now. I think we're trying to curl higher. That's my opinion. I initially thought we were short, and that's because while I was in that Tesla short, who I mentioned, and that short did work out. At that time, we had all of these kind of topping tail candles, but look at that support we're finding here, that support resistance level. And I don't know where this is on the contract, but on the QQQs, that 474.80 level is a great look. Let's see if that holds, because right now I think it could be a little bit more bullish, but again, only time will tell. I'm just one person looking at this market, Sharif. What is your view on this here market? How is your Donald Trump?
It's okay for now. I'm trying to get into some. It's not letting me in. It's just too quick, too fast, too furious. Let's see if it comes back in. Now we're long, so let's put in the stop through the break of 31. We're going to look for essentially something a little bit higher than we're at right now. Account for this one, though, guys. When you're putting your stop, it needs to account for the spread on the name. So we're long 55s, and we'll see if we can get something in and around that 77 penny area, which would test the high of day. But that's the whole idea of what we're doing here, is to move up. So keeping an eye on WHLR as well. Here comes that 740 area, looking to break through 7.25.
Is this super chat on WHLR?
Oh, thank you.
Garrett,
so yeah, he's talking to you. Do you want to cover it?
I mean, that's really, I think maybe more your type of play. Thank you, though, Devion Wave. I just don't feel comfortable like I could give you the right read on that stock. So that's why I want to, if you don't mind.
No worries. So I'm in SMMT, looking to wet my beak if it does get into that high 70s area to ultimately test for 33. I want to tell you guys that this thing's been a rocket ship on the daily, whether or not it's a rocket ship intraday. And when I get in, an entirely different story. Looks like it's zigging and zagging right now. Let's pack our patience. WHLR also having issues with 7 for Devon Wade. So this one basically coming back in a little bit below 7. We're keeping an eye, though, on whether it finds an area of support. I like this 620 area. I didn't mind this so much. Here comes that 620 area. Let's see if it holds. It could absolutely fall through here. Let's see if this 620 comes in. We're printing 650s. There is some support at 640s as well, but this one is, it's coming off the highs, and it's definitely rejecting 7 for now. The area that I like, 6.25, 6.25 to test this area top. So this was the area top that we put in for a hot minute, for around 10.50 till when we broke it at 11.30. So interesting area if it holds. If it doesn't, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Donald John Trump also zigging and zagging here. It just broke through 80s. It printed 83s. It's still kind of putting in lower highs with this double top off 17.05. So I'm cognizant of that as well. But it did hold up at the volume weighted average price, and it did hold up at this key area of support that I ID'd to be between 1670 and 1660. So we'll pack our patience and see if we can get the print on that. WHLR, keeping an eye on this one because I'm interested possibly at that 620 level. Right now, putting a bit of a hammer candle in as the buyers buy it up off that third of a dollar. We'll pack our patience, and we just got the print, baby, right there on SMMT. Finally get the day high print there at 77. I appreciate you, Adara. We're long 55s. Let's see if we can break 33 through the high of the day. Seller at 75. You can see there's like only one showing up. There goes 79 now printing here with the bid at 75. So not too bad of a spread for this name. Let's see if we can weasel up a little bit higher. We're up 20% or thereabouts. I mentioned to you guys that this thing is a dang rocket on the daily. So let's put in the beak wetter over here. Shout out to whoever's hitting the bang. I appreciate you guys. Let's put it at 96 to defend that level. And boom, we get the fill, baby. I love these small cap gappers. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher over here on this one. SMM.
Much higher.
So high. Get it, Adara. Having a good time, baby. Let's see if we can weasel up through 33. It's such a good name, this stock. I mean, I don't know fundamentally, but the chart looks fantastic. WHLR just broke 620. Does it hold here? Big move down here for WHLR. I also see Donald John Trump with a bit of a topping tail through 680 through the corner of my eye. I am worried about that. So let's see. Here we go. We're getting some buying here at this 620 area. We know that buyers were selling here initially, or shorts, or buyers were taking profits, or shorts were initiating at this 620 area. We did break it. Do we hold it this time? A lot of zig and zag. We already broke it on a wick basis, but we're essentially there right now as we speak. 30% in the clear right now on WHLR. You can get long here and put your stop a little bit below 6. That risks about 20 some odd pennies. Ideally, you're possibly you could make $1.20 if you get back into the highs. Obviously, you can make a lot more. I'm just speaking about the highs into that 740 area. So WHLR, interesting look here, Adara. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, so we've heard of stop hunting. Have we heard of profit taker hunting? Because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening to me right now. We were trying to get some profit here at 58. We got a couple cents away from that. Didn't happen. I was like, you know what? We'll switch to 54. So that's fine. We get to 53s on the ask, and now then this thing starts rejecting. So then I'm like, okay, fine, Tesla. Fine, I can play your game. We'll move to 49s. We get to 47s. Sharif, I am getting like some kind of weird profit taker hunting. I don't know what's happening here. Let's see if we finally take the There we go. Okay.
Bang.
It's like the market heard me talk. It was like, oh, your conspiracy theory. Oh, crap. She's right. We got to stop. But anyways, no, it's all good there.
Can I just mention a couple of things? Because Brendo sent a couple of messages here that I just want everyone to know. All right, Boeing. Brendo sending me a message with respect to Boeing. Speaking at a conference, Boeing CFO says strike will impact production and deliveries, have laser-like focus on actions to conserve cash. He goes on to say, we want to get back to the table. The company CEO at work to get an agreement. That's Boeing. So Boeing CFO dropping hot lines. Separately, Adara, there is Mullen news as well. M-U-L-N. Brendo saying Mullen Automotive 1-for-100 reverse stock split effective September 17th. Neil shaking his head. It's so funny. Effective September 17th, 2024. Common stock will trade on NASDAQ under symbol MULN on a split adjusted basis starting on the 17th. You see the market reaction there. The reason they're doing this, they have to remain in compliance with the NASDAQ rule, respecting the dollar, the market not liking what they have to say. Obviously, it's a reverse split to get back into compliance. That's not usually a good thing because you want to get it back organically, not through a stock split. So big move down. Just want to give you guys that as Brenda was sending me that live in living color.
Oh,
there? Yeah. Just wanted to let them know that.
Okay,
that's
no
all.
worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, I totally missed that as well.
Chum chum.
So, ching ching. Hey guys, I don't know why I said beak wetter, though I did finally get my beak wetter in Tesla, so maybe that's an apt animation. But guys, get in the chat. Let us know what ticker you're looking at right now. Exclamation point, join, space, $, ticker of your choice. Bless you. Whether or not it is Mullen, whether it is Boeing, maybe you're mulling over getting into Mullen.
Oh.
If you're having lucid dreams about Lucid, whatever ticker you want to look at, let us know. Bless you. Adrian saying you have to slap that ask. I mean, to be fair, I think Tesla has to slap the ask. I don't think that would be me, but I appreciate what you're trying to say there. Fabian making hand sounds in the back. Shout out to Fabian. I moved my stop here. We're going to be stopping out if we get to 229.30s, just because at that point, I think that's the most realistic area. Happy I took my profit. We're bouncing off 30s really well. If we can't hold 30, Sharif, I really don't want any smoke. That's what I realized, and that's why I moved my stop. So there we go. That's that on that. Arguably could have taken all my profit out there, but that wasn't the plan for the trade. So it is all good there, baby. Tesla really finding some rejection here, some resistance at 229.60. There was a part of me at one point that was tempted to add at 229.30 because the book is strong there. But alas, we get stopped out. I need to work on how these stops work because I feel like I am slipping a little bit more than I want. You don't want to catch yourself slipping. That is for sure. Really no other tickers I'm looking at as of right now, though. If Tesla breaks below, that's maybe not a bad short. Gaurav, yeah, I did notice that move in Starbucks. I just don't really have any plays in it. Double bottom. I wouldn't even call this, okay, let's see the 15-minute, because you mentioned the 15. The 5-minute, I wouldn't call this a double bottom. I would call, like, Starbucks, to me, I just haven't been able to get a good sense of the trend, which is why I haven't been involved. Yesterday, we had a range and then a breakout to the upside. That was a clear trend. I was cool trading that. It's a little double bottomy, yeah, but even then, it's like double bottom, a slightly higher low. I want to see what we do here if we get to 99.11s. Like, if we can kind of close above that level, that would be a little bit more bullish to me. I see what you mean, though. It is a good look. I just think it's also worth noting with Starbucks. We kind of made a new low, then pushed up almost into today's highs. Again, I need to see us make a higher high, or to me, it's not going to be super bullish. That would be my take on that stock. Apple, another stock I had a good
one doing.
I was going to say, the dead one is pumping, Sharif. The dead one's pumping, and I was in a long. And it didn't, I guess my stop was too conservative once again. But look at this beautiful push up here in AAPL, trying to tag 24s now. IWM pushing higher. Broadcom continuing to be interesting to me. I saw someone in the chat like saying like, oh, like, you know, there's like all these big movers. Yeah, and I mean, like, shout out to Shrink. Shrink will trade those big like 100%, 200% names. You're very adept at small caps. I like my names that kind of sneak up on you that I can have some plays on. Everyone has their own,
respect that.
You know, plan, their own attempts there. So let's find out. Donkey Trader saying that he submitted his ticker as CL, meaning oil contracts, not Colgate. We don't actually do that ourselves. So but thank you for telling us that, because the system kind of puts that all together. But thank you for telling us about that, Donkey Trader. In the meantime,
appreciate that, Donkey.
Thank you. Broadcom here. I like that we're pushing higher. Let's see if we can hold like. Maybe there could be a long here. We'll find out. Let's figure out what's going on. Shoan wants to go over Oracle, asking you, but I mean, I don't mind looking at Oracle because I actually really like Oracle here. So if you don't mind, I'll take care of Oracle.
Absolutely, Dara. Kill it. Yeah.
O to the R to the C to the L. I know Opie was on this one earlier. Neil was on this one a bit. I was on this at earnings. This is a very spready ticker, so it is my type of name, but I find the way it moves a little bamboozling. Also, yeah, shout out to Grav there. Starbucks was making a new high, or trying to make a new high of day here. So Oracle gets a pushback. I think it's my first pushback of the day.
Okay.
Because look at this 163.40 level. We wick into it, kind of reject it here. You know what? Oracle, don't do this to me, man.
I like when you say that. It's so funny.
We're going long, Oracle.
Good.
Because I like this. Yeah, sorry, I guess I didn't answer your question, Shohan. To me, as long as we can hold that support just below 163s, I think it is a long. But if we reject that 163.80 level, that's going to be a little sus. So we're going to actually get long here, and I'm going to risk it into where it makes sense to risk. We're going to have a small position. We're going to risk 50 cents. I can live with that, Sharif.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I'm high.
Vent, Dara. I'm listening.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to risk that into, again, I'm trying to figure out, because I'm doing like midpoint stops. I'm trying to figure out how to like make that make sense. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do like 96s. I think that's fair. Let's see what happens here. If we get filled for that long, I think that's going to be a nice little long. They're happy with what we did with TSLA. And we took profit on both of those positions. So even my stop, I still got like 10 cents there. And again, I moved my stop just because I figured if we broke, like basically my read on the stock change. So I thought that was fair. Let's see though, Tesla, I'm still down to do some scalp stuff here if it gets scalpy. Apple, topping tail candling, the huge topping tailing here. There could be some reversion on this here market. IWM, and IWM, to be clear, has been upside. Already had a failed short on this, but I said IWM I'd like as long if it bounced off 216.50. Now I'm wondering, with this topping tail little action here, if IWM is actually a short. In which case, I don't want to get involved in a whim on this IWM, but if it sets up, it wouldn't be a whim because it would be a trade idea that I have. I'd like to see what we do at VWAP. The 217 level is going to be pretty key for me, though, I believe. On to the I, to the W, to the also, I'm definitely not getting filled in Oracle. Yeah, if we clear that 80s level, which again, that was that next kind of topping tail, that could be a look. Let's figure out what occurs here. How are you doing over here?
The Chilean nightmare is like bullying people in the chat, bro. Like, Fabian, what's going on here, bro? Like the dude's calling out a good level, and no, we're joking, of course. Shout out to Davon. Appreciate that call out on Wheeler, my man. I'm in here. We're looking to defend 6. That's the move, but I'm looking to wet my beak at the 39, 40 penny level, guys. In and around this area, we're looking to defend 6, taking advantage of those wicks. you know, we're in the money, but nothing to write home about. Seller here at 22s, showing up about more than 300 lots, about 340 lots, a bit more than that. That's not big boy size for a name that's done. How many shares has this done on the day? Well, we're about 10 1/5 million shares right now. So we'll see. We'll see if we can weasel through that level. In it right now, looking to defend $6. Donald John Trump is in trouble here. So it just dipped into 1660. So this is the level it's going to have to hold. I have my stop south of this level to account for wicks, but this is not good. Let's be honest about it. This is not good if you're looking at this from my perspective, being in a long, it's got to hold up here. The whole point of why I'm in this is for resistance to flip to support and hold as that way. So I didn't want to trade this as a scalp. I was looking for a bigger move up, possibly into 17, but if the bottom drops off, we're going to take the L, and here it comes. So if it breaks here, that's it. I got to watch this because this could stop me out at any time here. DJT losing the bid, baby. It is breaking down through that 1660 area, and I'm awfully close to getting stopped out on this bad boy. So that's the way trading is. We get stopped out. We get stopped out. The only reason I'm looking at this is because I want to make sure that my stop triggers. And here it is. There, we're out of this, so the end of the trade is there. Now we can focus on WHLR, which we're now break even on. So some of these small cap gappers not having that green Friday, baby, and hopefully we can get a little bit better of a win ratio when we do get back from Neil's lesson of the day.
Welcome, lesson of the day, brought to you by Moomoo, our good friends over at Moomoo. Tell you, rate cuts are on the horizon, and the market, hey, it's about to shift. Just look at NVIDIA. We keep talking about this. It's like up, down 35% at one moment, then bouncing back the next. So in order to protect your gains when trading, you want Moomoo's trailing stop orders. With the NASDAQ, Moomoo is your top investing app. Unlike typical stop orders that just simply lock in a price, ours move up when your stock rises. This locks in profits before a drop. Use those trailing stops, and it works for options too. Plus, enjoy zero commissions, zero contract fees, and 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and a free 15 stocks. Don't miss out. Check the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code below. So there you go. Shout out to Moomoo. Appreciate them. The lesson of the day today is a simple one. Short Mullen, short Mullen, short Mullen. No, actually, that's not even remotely the lesson of the day. I'll get to it in a quick little second. But, I have to slap the fail on myself, and I've got to hold myself more accountable because I shorted Mullen in the afternoon yesterday, and I was talking about when a stock is doing this on a daily chart, and when a stock looks like this the last couple of days, like when it gives you a pop, that's usually an opportunity to fade. Like there's an up day, there's chances to fade the days after. Lower high, breakdown, then just trends down. Up day, failed breakout, trend down. Failed breakout of prior high, trend down, announced stock split, reverse stock split, stock craters. You got to have them. But the other thing that I have to consider is we all have these ideas out there when we're trading. You know, you'll come in, you're like, I like this stock. I like stock X at price Y in to the long side or the short side, whatever it might be. And that's your preference. Now, going into today, obviously there was nothing wrong with NVIDIA longs the last couple of days. Dip and rip and dip and rip. And if it had done the same thing today, I wouldn't be complaining about it. But that, even if NVIDIA had dipped into the 118 and actually managed to get past 120 or get into the highs, it still wouldn't have made it the right play. And it's an obvious reason why. When you've got a lot of similar things to look at, you do want to consider what you did the best on previously. Of course that matters. But you've got to grade setups according to their own merits. I want to juxtapose this with, before we came on air, Obi and I were both looking at a couple of chip names, and you know which one I'm going to talk about if you're watching the morning show. If you look at ARM, in a very similar setup here. ARM did the big move 2 days ago. It's been an upward trend, did the dip and rip. Now, what's the difference between ARM this morning and NVIDIA this morning? Well, dip and rip yesterday, above prior resistance, set up for breakout. on the daily chart above the 50 period, broken out prior resistance, continuation trend. And you go, like NVIDIA's a great stock. I'm not complaining about NVIDIA. It does tons of volume. Everybody loves it. But NVIDIA, hold a 50 period, no break of consolidation. It's not, this isn't rocket science. You have two similar stocks the last 2 or 3 days in an upward trend, one of which rejected the consolidation high and is still in the consolidation. Why am I surprised that it goes inside day? And you've got another one which very simply is showing you breakout. Now eventually join. It's like the one long trade. I was long like a million times on NVIDIA. One easy long on ARM. That's all it took. And you could have had that as a breakout trade. So you want to go for the lowest hanging fruit. Like you could look at something like an AMD. Maybe that's your cup of tea. See what I did there? Like I would have rather lost on an AMD long today than even NVIDIA. Because like ARM, at least it was up the last couple of days. I keep leaving these trend lines in here. It was up the last couple of days, dip and rip, above close, above prior high. So it was pressing. Eventually, it couldn't break the double top. But at least you have something which is through resistance, above the 50 period. Like, even this was a better setup technically than NVIDIA. So you could have scalped some dip buy wins, don't get me wrong. But the one that was actually breaking out to the upside and consolidating off those breaks ends up being the best one in terms of ARM. And AMD was even a better setup, and I have to acknowledge it as well. Now, where you can start to look at other things here, and I'm going to show you one that isn't as good, and I'm going to show you why. So if I zoom in far enough, and I kind of spoiled it by showing you the 15-minute. See, what I should have done is started here on Intel. Just giving you like this look, so you can see, okay, yeah, big day, dip and rip, holding above prior lows. Look at that, holding above prior lows and consolidating. So why wasn't Intel as good of a breakthrough? Well, zoom out a little bit further, right? Like the other ones on the daily chart, you saw you're going into rarefied air on ARM. You're going into rarefied air a little bit on AMD. So even if it doesn't continue, the potential is much better. Well, with Intel, you've got tons of overhead resistance still in there. You know, it's specifically right at the prices it was trying to break. $19.8, $20, $20. Like it's a little bit choppier in here. So it's not quite as clean. And it just goes to show when you are setting up your trades, don't just leave it at, ooh, this stock was good yesterday, it's going to be good today. That's not how it works. Because you can find an upward trend, and it's great, but you should always try to be on the best trade. Like, don't leave your work is done. Well, I'm just going to do the same thing I did yesterday because buying the dips in NVIDIA worked, so that's probably going to be the best one out there. No, it was ARM today, and it was SMCI today. That's another one. I mean, what is SMCI set up like? Dip and rip. Big move up. They all have exactly the same chart. 2 days ago on Wednesday, big move up, dip and rip. Some held better than others. But what are the ones that actually took out the prior high? And on top of it, which are the ones that actually took out prior highs from before? Oh goodness, this looks pretty good through 470. Have a look at this 470 on SMCI if you can shoot through that, by the way. But it's all about the ones that are showing you they're through resistance for better continuation. If the group's going to go, the group's going to go. You might as well be in the one that has the best potential to run because it's chewed through where the sellers are likely to be. And what's interesting about it is I was joking about Mullen. It's exactly the same principle with Mullen. There's a million stocks that have daily trends to the downside like this. But you want the one that's in play. And oftentimes it's after it does the pump and then fail. That's when you want to be on it. And the bigger the move up, the next day, if it does one of these, your best day for the short, it will trend down again, but your best day for the short is literally the day right after. So oftentimes I feel like we get stuck, and this is especially true when you're doing well. So, you know, a lot of times you're like, oh, this is working for me. I'm just going to continue to do whatever, the same thing every single day. That's a bit of a trap as a trader because it's so easy to just fall into that pattern and then miss out on the best opportunities. Like NVIDIA should not. Regardless, NVIDIA shouldn't have even been a trade, in my opinion. Like, there's just no way in which it was setting up better than ARM. Or AMD didn't even do anything, and it was still setting up better than NVIDIA. And SMCI was setting up better as well. So it probably shouldn't have been a trade. It's generally speaking a good idea to do what works for you. But your work is not done just because you checked out the 5 symbols you traded before and are continuing that trend and kind of working out your plan of action for them. Do a little bit more. Find the best trade setups and opportunities. They might be in the same sector. They might be somewhere else, man. It doesn't matter where it is. Your work is not done just because you want to rinse and repeat what was good for you before. I can't say that enough. I mean, I'm frustrated with myself today that I was stubbornly trying to overtrade NVIDIA and made a single trade on ARM today. It's inexcusable because as a day trader, your entire job is to pick the best opportunities and pick the next best opportunity. And then when you're out of that trade, pick the next best opportunity. It's not to just sit there and trade the stock because you like it. So it is what it is. When we're learning how to trade, we've got to be getting better on a daily basis. And a lot of times you're going to fall into that trap where if things are working on a daily basis, it's going to stop you from looking at new and fresh opportunities. Try not to do it. Put in the same work every single day, regardless of your performance the day before. That's your lesson of the day.
Around these parts, we call that Neilage. That is Neil's lesson of the day. And needless to say, it was a good one. Hotline dropper, a.k.a. Neil Roberts. If you like what you heard, he's around every day around that noon hour. Make sure to catch Neil's lesson of the day. Thank you very much, Neil. And on social media, thank you very much, Chilean Nightmare. Chilean Nightmare letting me know you're going to catch Neil's lesson of the day on the gram and every other social media platform that we deal on. So shout out to him and thank you very much for that. Yeah, let's call a spade, baby. Didn't do well on WHLR, got pushed out of this, still putting in lower highs. So I'm no longer going to base my entry off the volume weighted average price because it got broken. And 6 also got broken. It's doing the dance right now with 6, putting in bottoming tail candles at $6 on the 5-minute. If it wants to hold, I'll get in on the back end, but I'm not going to have resting orders to try and guess or gauge where resistance is, or support is, excuse me. So keep an eye on that. Separately, while Neil was dropping said hot lines, a new small cap gapper emerged onto the scene. It goes by the ticker SMX, and for those who were up at 5:05 a.m. today, you'll be familiar with it. Otherwise, you probably won't. This big boy over here got off the schneid.
Service matters.
Thank you, Adara. This one really, no, it's cool. Thank you for letting me know. 250, it was printing there in the pre-market. Adara rocketed up into that 651, $4, quick as you like on there. What is that percentage, by the way, for all the math nerds out there? Yeah, it's a light 150% Adara. It's not a big deal. And then it got back into 5 right now, touched 492. It did break this area crest from, 6 a.m. for whoever was up then. But I'm going to base my trades off 5 and see what we get. It didn't really do anything at VWAP. I mean, the only time it really interacted was VWAP was in the pre-market. But it's really going here, guys. Here comes 5, and there goes 5. SMX is going, and it's quite aggressive. Midday just showed up. It is now a triple-digit winner, 103% and still going. And it's catching the bid, kind of like that stock we traded yesterday. I don't remember which one it was that showed up midday. It didn't have its best day at the open or the best time of the day at the open, nor was it the pre-market. This is catching a bid midday. And now it's really rocking up into 520. I've already got it up on a trading screen. Where is it? There it is. It's zigging and zagging right now, but good strength on this name. You can see the pullbacks there are awfully brief. You get 1 minute pullback over here, 2 minute pullback, and another 1 before we continue on our merry way into the highs. I was looking at punching in 467, but I don't like punching in at highs. So that's just not my strategy. I need to get it off a key area of resistance or support, depending on whether I'm going long or short. But this thing is on the way up. 530, it's printing new highs as we speak. 535 now, looking to go 550. Lots of strength. Here's the deal: $4.5 million market cap. This thing is minuscule. 10 million shares almost traded probably by the time I'm done talking. The float is 30.33 million shares. And the short float, let's find out here using trade ideas, is 12.25% or thereabouts. There is a marked difference between what I'm seeing here on the float with trade ideas and what I'm seeing on my platform. Mine is saying 30.33. Trade ideas is saying 1.1 million float. So yeah, a bit of a contradictory statement right now, and it is halted at 571. It is now up 33% since I mentioned. I was mentioning at 103, now it's up 133. So very strong name, Midday. And what is the deal with this catalyst? Not that it really matters. Pause for volatility. Did this thing have a catalyst yesterday, the 12th? Security public. Oh, here it is. So SMX Security Matters Public Limited Company closes $5 1/3 million private placement. All right. So I guess that's a holdover from yesterday because there's nothing new today to account for this latest pump. But very, very good name here. SMX on the NQ, halted Adara at 571.
Yeah, Sharif, I'm just watching Starbucks lose some caffeine here. I'm so proud of this trade. This is an Adara Panera range. This is the type of stuff I should be trading way more often. Yeah, like look at this thing just drip. Like cold foam drip, like a coffee.
That's
I realized after I said an accidental pun. Thank you. Yeah, and I want to shout out Groff, who was mentioning this. And I kind of said, I said at the time, I thought it was rangy. I said, I'm not. Like, it looks nice when it made, like, we pushed above the 98 10s, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, my, the longs are right on this. But then I was like, what, Adara? True. But then we get these topping tail candles. Once again, I said, short this. I took size with this, to be clear as well. Like, this was like a conviction trade. Chung Chung started to Law and Order conviction, which is unfortunately a real spinoff that did happen. We are going to move our stop here to 99.01s, prior bar high here. We've already taken out 60% of this position. Let's see if we bounce here at VWAP. But either way, we're not going to have to worry because we have our stop in, Sharif. I love having all my stops set. I feel so responsible. Like I said, I was having some issues setting stops, and now I'm like, my Oracle went against me, and I was like, oh, not to fear, my stop was set. So all good there. EWIM also has a stop set. EWIM's got, yeah, guys, I wasn't like 3 trades for a while there. Oracle, once again, I set a stop, and then it hits the stop, and it bounces. So still need to work on the where I'm placing my stops. EWIM, I absolutely would have taken some out had I had enough size. Unfortunately, I did not. I've talked, someone was asking in the chat, like, what's my buying power? We don't talk about buying power here. I will say it is smaller. What I do for my risk management is just like portion of buying power per trade. So yeah, right now we are in that IWM. Honestly, like once we get some more out of the Starbucks, we might add a little bit here. If we keep bouncing off 217s, I have no fear there. And what I'm risking is into 85. So that's like, to me, pretty wait, what am I risking? I don't even remember where I put my stop here. I put my stop at, not even see where I set it. So that's great. I'll have to check where I put my stop. Either way, the point is it's manageable. We might add here at 217s. We'll see what happens. The other stock I like that is also, wow, Starbucks just dropped another 10 cents. A range-related play is M to the R, to the N, to the A. We had that beautiful push up here. We, like I said, higher, I was mentioning earlier these higher lows. We push up. I'm actually going to set, that 67.20s was the level I liked yesterday. We're going to set a dip buy for 67.35, Sharif.
Nice,
and we're going to see what happens there because I actually do like that look. Let's do 67.36s. We'll do that. I'm going to risk it into 10s. Let's see what happens here. On that mRNA, Starbucks is just selling off. Shout out to Garoff, though, saying good short on Starbucks, still long from the lows. If it breaks, I'm out. Shout out to you, Garoff. That's the thing. You got to stick with your plan. You got to have your plan. Sharif, we're going to take out, how much of this trade do I have left? We're going to take out a good portion here at these 59s, and we're going to let that last piece just bleed, Sharif, because I think Starbucks can give me my candle macchiato, which it turns out does still exist. I know I was like saying they don't do my drink that tastes like a candle anymore. They do. I just wasn't looking at the menu hard enough. My IWM trade's still chilling. I have no qualms. And that's the thing. I had a rough start to the morning. I was very clear about that. But if you see ideas you like, you must go after them with an aggression, a viciousness. I'm going to stop yelling. I know I'm getting a little bit excited here, but these markets excite me, guys. I'm only here for 2 hours. You only have 2 hours of the puns and the overexcitement. Please vote in the chat here, exclamation point, join the space, the $, that ticker.
I just back in WHLR, took out a piece there as it zigs and zags, about 20 pennies or so. Let's see if this one can find its way above VWAP. We're going to look to get out through the break of 6, but finally able to rack up a dub. Dave B. Sharif. Thoughts on the Gooners and Spurs this weekend?
I know what side he's on, basically.
Well, obviously, I'm going to go with Arsenal. It's just, dude, we are just so beat up. We have so many injuries. What is going on? I hate international breaks, but that's the way it is. These guys go, and then they play players that don't have as much to lose as them with other teams, and they get injured. So that's the way it is. I still like our chances. Are we away or are we at home to Tottenham? Let's find out real quick over here. We're going to let this WHLR cook, and I'm going to mention SMX. SMX is open, by the way, guys. All right, let's see what we got here. Are we away? It's not this. It's on Sunday. Yeah, we are away to Tottenham, 9 a.m. game. Yeah, look, I don't think Tottenham's played all that well this year, so hopefully we pull one out. I think we have got some good names to help with the injuries. Sterling, Jorginho, I think, is going to help in Odegaard's position. I personally would put Declan back and let Jorginho cook as the distributor, but that's not what Arteta's doing. He's got Declan ahead and Party back, but it's probably going to be Mourinho once he's healthy again. So Mikel Mourinho, the new signing, injured. Martin Odegaard, our captain, injured. So it's frustrating.
Rough.
Yeah, it's tough, but that's just the way soccer is, Adara.
That's fair.
Yeah, so let's go back to SMX right now because it's still not giving it up. Here we go again, man, and we just broke the high on SMX today. This thing is parabolic. Let's get in, Adara. Let's just have some fun today, man. Why not? What is life without whimsy? We'll get out at 5 1/3 if it breaks, but we're gonna have some fun here on the show. If we're not trading this, then we're not really having a good time. So we're gonna put it at 77s, come what may. 5, we'll put in the stop as well. Oh, here we go, 67 showing up, a bit of a seller there at 67. Let's see if we can weasel up, and we got the print. All right, good. Let's go up a little bit more right now. Now it's a good look. Did I take everything out? No, I didn't. I still have a little bit. Let's go, baby. Let's go through that 6, baby. Let's go. We're long 62s. Let's go. Oh, Dara, I hit the flatten key instead of taking a limit order, so we didn't get the good print there. That's all right. Still positive on it. I'll look to get back in if it does reject 6 and weasels down. Let me give you some levels on this. Oh, there are none. Why? Because the 10 exponential is at $4.50. This is what I mean by extended on the 5, guys, over here. Like, look where the 10 exponential is hanging out right down. Oh, gotta weasel this. Right back into 450 over here. This thing just printed 6 big moves today on SMX. I love these small cap gappers that show up midday that haven't been exhausted by the end of the pre-market or by like 11 o'clock. They show up, they have buyer exuberance during the midday. I love these. We'll look to trade them all the time if we can. SMX, I'll get back in here if it sets up properly. Let's go to the other one over here. Oh, baby, WHLR putting in higher lows, but still having trouble with that 640. I'd like to wet my beak, something around 680. Here we go with 640. Let's see if we can take out that buyer or seller, excuse me, at 40s. Definitely a hidden seller. Okay, now we're printing 43s. Let's get up a bit more, but the spread opened up a bit there, so there wasn't as much buyer exuberance. Okay, now it's tightening up a little bit. Let's see if we can squeeze through the $0.50 on WHLR. It's been a good name for it today. I did get cut up on it on the first attempt. This is attempt number 2, but there is some selling at 40s to be expected. We've been rejecting off there. That's why I wet my beak there last time. Zigging and zagging. There's a lot of buyer and seller tug of war happening over here. A little above 40, a little bit below. We're seeing shorts are instituting their positions, or initiating, I should say, their positions ahead of this level over here. What I do like about this is a cursory break of 6 and then higher highs and higher lows to weasel back up for that rounded bottom. What I'm unsure about is where exactly we meet that wall of resistance. Zigging and zagging right now. Packing my patience. What's your look?
Yeah, so I got stopped out at IWM. I definitely should have taken some out here earlier, and I think the reason I didn't manage that well is I didn't have like a huge position. I was like, oh, we'll just wait till if we get stopped out. We got stopped out. It's all good there. Starbucks, I should have taken Roth, who pointed out that range is still holding. I have 5% of this left. And, you know, Neil did a lesson of the day once, and I fully agree with this. You don't want to, like, just let a position go against you just because it's 5% or because you have only a really small piece left. But honestly, like, for this Starbucks, if I'm risking prior bar highs, I am just going to let this run. I was using the 3-minute. Initially, I was going to do the 85. We're kind of above that last prior bar here because I just was not, honestly, like, monitoring enough. There have been a lot of children to watch over, Sharif.
Oh, certainly.
We have currently we are in 3 trades. Wait, am I still long IWM? I thought I got stopped out at IWM. I'm very confused with the EOM situation here. Is that I am no longer long IWM, by the way. So that is a typo on my position board. I'm actually trying to get short IWM now, so I'll pull that up. But yeah, in the meantime, for Starbucks, I'm going to risk it to VWAP. I'm cool with that. Moderna actually going swimmingly, so we'll talk about this one here too. I don't like that topping tail candle, so we're going to take some out here at 70s. We're going to take out half the position, but I'm risking this. We'll do 75s. I am risking this though into 20. I was risking 25 pennies. I'm risking to 67.10s. I'm going to move that, though, to this prior bar low, which is actually break even. We're going to move that to 36s. I'm cool with that. So look at all of this position management. I feel like such an active manager, Sharif, or an active woman manager, maybe you want to say. I don't know. But I love this. I am so happy with my little stop orders. I feel like such an adult. Yeah, and to be clear, I was trying to use stops earlier. I was just not good at like setting them. Now I know how to set them properly. I want to shout out Wayne as well. Because I asked Obi, I was like, hey, like how do I set stops? He's like, oh, I'll grab Wayne. And they were both very helpful. So shout out to both of them there. Yeah, it's a good time. Shout out to Real Trading. Also, I'm definitely not going to get this short filled where I want to. So if we can do 79s, I'll risk into 17s. I'm cool with that because that is also going to be basically the same style of look. I'd be risking the same amount. I don't think we're going to get filled on this though. But that's what the cookie crumbles sometimes, Sharif. Sometimes you get filled, and sometimes the stock crumbles a cookie in your face. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. It's a great time here in these markets, Sharif. I'm just very much feeling. It's a good vibe. I'm just in a good mood, and I hope you guys are in as much of a good mood here as me. We also have Hog Rider saying, Tesla long here. It's in a channel ascending wedge. Can you please check it out on the 15-minute? Oh, yeah, I see what you see. Honestly, I'm on the 5, and I still see it. Honestly, the 5, it is one of my favorite bullish setups, so I'll look at that, and then I'll look at the 15 for you. I've talked a lot about how bullish I find it when a stock comes to a level and then double bottoms, but the second bottom is only on a wick basis, because to me, that's like, hey, it's so bullish, we're not even going to give you that full other bottom. No, siree, Bob. We're just going to, or Bobette, I don't know. We're just going to bounce here on a wick basis. So to me, this is a really bullish look. I like, we can hold the 9 EMA. Oh, my gosh. Hog Rider, you're going to tempt me to get into this Tesla long here. No, I'm joking. But I do like that look. Let's see, or I guess that's a 3, I don't know. Let's see the 15-minute here. Okay, on the 15-minute, I'm not going to lie, 15-minute Hog Rider, it kind of looks bearish to me. I'm going to be really real. Look at the support resistance flip we had yesterday at 228.70s. Look at that pre-market level of support, 228.70s. If we can't get above 228.70s or this 229 area in a salient way, I think Tesla might be a bit bearish on the 15. That is just my take. So yeah, I just want to be honest with you there because I think that's one of the great things we get to do. I want to stop yapping because I want Sharif to be able to talk here as well. I apologize, I'm just getting excited by these markets. But Oracle, I can't see the future, but I can see Oracle continuing to get pull higher. I did get stopped out of this. I want to shout out Elon because I was noticing this as well. I think I'm going to get long the exact same place. And you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this, Sharif. Because it's still setting up here. So we're going to have the exact same style of trade. Let's see if we get filled 80s, still risking into 55s. Let's go, Oracle. We're almost definitely going to get it stopped out of Starbucks. We did get stopped out here of Moderna, but we took profit on half the position. IWM cooking. How you cooking, Sharif?
I'm good. I'm ready to do the lesson du jour. We are talking about reversal days to conclude our 2-week discussion on trends. I think it's kind of apropos that we conclude with reversals. So shout out to the production team, the best there. All right, so today we'll dive into the concept of reversal days. It's a key chart pattern to identify potential market turning points. This concept is particularly useful in trend analysis, where understanding when the market might reverse is crucial for the effective trading strategies. So reversal days, they can signal to us the end of an uptrend or the end of a downtrend, and recognizing them early certainly helps traders make more informed trading decisions. So we'll explore the characteristics of top and bottom reversals, as well as the significance of volume with those type of reversals, and how these patterns can be extended onto the weekly and the monthly charts. So that's what are going to be our focus for today. So as we typically do, let's just define the concept briefly for those who have never encountered it before. The definition of a reversal day is essentially a reversal day occurs at the top or the bottom of a trend, and it signals to you the potential turning point. There are 2 types of reversals we want to talk about, as I prefaced. A top reversal day. This is where prices reach a new high and then close lower than the previous day's low. Conversely, the bottom reversal day, prices hit a new low, but end up closing higher than the previous day's high. So those are the 2 that we're going to talk about. Here's how they kind of look on the chart. This is a top day, the mother of all topping tail candles. And if you don't know how bar charts operate, the little, this little horizontal line over here depicts the close, okay, of the day. So you'll be able to see that we closed lower than the previous day's close. Conversely, over here, we closed higher than the previous day, which was over here. So that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about these reversal days that not just encompass or engulf the previous day's price action, but that actually close higher than the prior day's high or prior day low, depending on whether we're going long or short. So what are the characteristics of a reversal day? Typically, prices open strongly in the direction of the current trend to new highs or new lows, depending on whether we're talking about top or bottom reversals. But later that day, the price reverses direction, creating a sharp move against the trend by closing either lower or higher, depending on the reversal type. And the range here is quite important. That's the distance between the high and the low intraday, and it's usually a lot wider than it would be normally, indicating a lot of significant market action. So keep that in mind. The range on the day is important. Go ahead,
Brendan just sent us this notification. Boeing, there's apparently Boeing ratings may be cut to junk by Moody's. So that is a junky headline there for Boeing. I mean, it's not shocking, but let's pull up the chart here quickly. Yeah, sorry, Kelly. I don't know if you're still in the chat, Kelly Ortberg, not the real Kelly. But yeah, that's a pretty
what a disaster.
A pretty smelly look for Boeing. It does smell like junk ratings. Oh, Boeing. Oh gosh, whoosh, wish, bad. Yuck.
It's not good, Adara.
Oh, it's apparently because I broke Kelly Ortberg's heart. Yeah, I don't know why this is still a joke, but it is still.
Well, the dude tried sliding into the DMs, Adara. You left him on red, and now we're all paying the price.
Oh, so it's my fault that Boeing is junk rating?
Ram is saying yes to her, by the way, for those who care. Ram, put on the mic, bro. People want to hear your voice.
Mayday says
Mayday.
I think it's Ramin. Anyway, sorry, we'll go back to the list. I just want to thank you, Brendan, for letting us know about that.
Thank you for letting me know that, Darren, and let everybody else know. So the characteristics, as we talked about, important. Yeah, we just finished talking about that. Let's talk about volume as a confirmatory indicator or as a factor for confirmation. So heavy volume on these reversal days, very important. So heavy volume on a reversal day adds weight to the significance. For example, if a top reversal occurs on higher than usual volume, it could indicate strong selling pressure. Obviously, it's true for the other side as well. A bottom reversal day with high volume is often referred to as a selling climax, essentially where sellers are exhausted and the buyers take control. So what we're looking for there is above average volume on the reverse day. And one easy way to do that is to look on the daily or the weekly or whatever time frame you're charting and compare the volume bar that printed on that reversal day to the prior volume bars. Is it above average? Yes, no, or maybe. Top reversals days. Let's talk about the type of reversals days. So there's two. There's a top and a bottom reversal day. We'll talk about the top one first. So in this particular scenario, prices are moving to a new high during the day, but reverse to close below the previous day's low. Again, it closes below the previous day's close. This indicates that the bullish momentum that existed in the trend is weakening, and it could, in fact, be the start of a downtrend. And this is kind of what we're looking at over here. We're on our merry way, printing big boy, and then this topping tail candle comes in. You can't see the candles subsequent to it because of the circle there or the oval, but it does close a little bit below. The bottom reversal day, the price in this scenario makes a new low, but ends up closing higher, signaling the exhaustion of the selling pressure. This day often marks the end of a downtrend and is commonly referred to as the selling climax. And this is kind of what it looks like there. You get the mother of all hammer candles there, and then we start on our merry way into a new uptrend. Let's talk about some of the other manifestations of these reversal days. An outside day is one such manifestation. This is when both the high and the low on the reversal day exceed the previous day. The reversal becomes even more significant, forming what we call an outside day. This pattern suggests to you heightened volatility and is often associated with important turning points, as shown here on the next chart. This is basically the Dow Jones Industrial, and this is what we call an outside day. Basically, this is where the high and the low on the reversal day exceed the previous day. So there has to be a gap in there by definition. And that's another manifestation of it there. Basically, you're above the high and you're above the low of the candle that preceded it. So you're completely engulf it. You could also call that a bearish engulfing if you'd like. Today, we're calling it an outside day or an outside candle. It's also quite important to keep in mind that these reversals have more importance the higher up on the time frame you go. So reversal patterns are certainly not limited to the daily or the intraday chart, but also obviously occur on the weekly and the monthly. A weekly reversal, I will submit to you, is more significant than the daily reversal or any other on a lower time frame, as it reflects a longer term shift in market sentiment. So for example, an upside weekly reversal happens when prices during the week during the week, but recover to close above the previous Friday's close. These longer term reversal patterns tend to have more importance than the daily reversals, obviously, because they encompass more time. Now, let's talk about some of the practical applications that we can use these reversal day fours. I think reversal days for. I think you guys can glean some of the application, but intraday you can use it as well. Thank you. Traders should monitor price action closely near areas of both support and resistance for signs of a reversal. And then if you do see some selling pressure or buying pressure coming in at those levels, you got to look at the volume. So watch for heavy volume and an extended price range during that specific day, which often precedes the reversal. Pay close attention, I would submit to you, to the close of day, as it is the most important indicator in a reversal pattern. I'll submit to you that we're talking about the day starting out either strong or weak. So for a bottom reversal, it starts off weak, right? Because we're continuing to move down. But intraday, we get something, perhaps a news catalyst, that really changes the momentum of things. So it stands to reason that the market on close order that day, because we shifted sentiment intraday, so the market on close has to be super important here as we wait for those MOC orders to come in to see, is there buying exuberance, or was this just an intraday trade where these zero data expiry options were kind of bamboozling the look? So that's what I would say to you. Keep an eye out on the MOC, the market on close, on that day that you have identified as a possible top reversal or bottom reversal. And last but not least here, incorporating reversals into your trading plan. You should be using reversal days as confirmation when planning your entries or exits. I'll get it right, it's Friday. For example, after a bottom reversal day, traders might consider entering a long position. I know, but it's my mom's birthday, so, you know, it's the 13th, so anybody who tells me, Ram, that 13 is a bad number, I just say my mom's born on the 13th, so I can't think that way.
What?
Right? Yeah. For example, after a bottom reversal day, traders might consider entering a long position if the reversal is confirmed with subsequent bullish action. Conversely, after a top reversal, exiting a long position or initiating a short position might be considered. So to conclude the lesson, reversal days are essential tools for identifying potential turning points in market trends. But remember, the heavier the volume and the wider the intraday range or intra-week range, whatever time frame off which you're charting, the more significant the reversal is likely to be. And do not forget that these patterns don't just occur on the daily. It's incumbent upon you to look at the weekly, look at the monthly to gauge sentiment. I hope everybody prints a Dara.
I always hope everyone prints as well. Thank you, Sharif, for that lesson, and thank you, Ramin, for keeping everyone entertained. Someone in the chat called her Raw mean, and then she commented back, Raw, never so nice, always mean. Yeah, I know Ramin cracks us all up there. Shout out to you. I've just been staring at the book at Adobe, because Adobe's fascinating here. Quite frankly, I don't know what else to say. I love that 531 level. That 531 level was a level I watched on the book as we had that kind of bottoming tail candle, then we bid back up. I said the only way I would take Adobe again today was if I had like crazy confluence that I just couldn't like shake. And so, this Adobe here. So we bid up on 531, double bottom, great. Look at all these lower highs though. And there was a while here, there was a moment where I considered a reversion long here in Adobe because we were holding 531.69s. We were creeping up on the ask, and then that moment flew away because we still can't break decisively above 32s. The closest thing we bid up was like, there we go. Okay, we're getting our push down here in Adobe. Oh my gosh, do I want to get this bread? It's third time the charm or it's third time a nightmare. We'll never know. Also, we got stopped out of Oracle, stopped out of IWM. Starbucks is still chilling. Yeah, Starbucks, I moved my stop to 75s. We're going to move it again here to this 60. Yeah, we're basically 68s here. Yeah, I guess we'll to 71s, that 3-minute candle there. for SPUX. So let's see. Again, really small position, but that still doesn't mean I want it to get away from me. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to move that there. That is the stop on the Starbs. Yeah, we stopped out at Oracle once again. Moderna holding nicely, but the only name I want smoke on is Adobe. I don't want to build any huge position yet here also because I will be departing and saying goodbye for the week here in the day early. So that, you know what I mean? That means I definitely don't want to be building some crazy position I'm not going to be able to fulfill. That being said, Adobe, I'm just going to be watching the Adobe book there, guys. I apologize. I'm putting this book up so I can continue to yap and look at the book for Adobe. Guys, vote for whatever tickers you want to see. Exclamation point, join, space, $, your ticker. I don't know why I did it rhythmically, but we have to there. Okay, Moderna. See, I initially liked that hold here of the 90 MA. Now it looks like it's flipping short. Could be an interesting look. The IWM as well. I might have gotten stopped out of that prematurely, potentially. So I initially was risking here into 217s. I moved my stop there to basically prior bar highs on the 3. And then that actually, that did work. To be clear, you know, maybe I didn't need to move it, but I would definitely take a scalp short of this if we break back below 216.50. That being said, my Adobe still looks like it's Adobe. I'll short you. Oh my gosh, and I really want to, Sharif, because it cannot break above 532. I don't need a massive position on this. I just need something in the book to scream to me to take it. Starbucks is still chilling. I also don't like the way I worded that. But Starbucks is chilling here, guys, as well. Starbucks is kind of frosty. I honestly don't know if we'll get stopped out. I would love to see us make a new low of day. And like I said, I'm still doing this responsibly. I'm kind of using all of these, like, as we make kind of new levels of resistance, I'm moving the stop. But it looks like even if I don't get my Adobe short, oh my gosh, we're doing an ask creep to the downside. Sharif, I might have to get this Adobe ready. I apologize there. So that might be the move. Also, yeah, make sure you guys vote for your takers. And hopefully no one got rinsed today. I did initially, but we did battle back. Much like, you know, the best thing is if you get rinsed, Sharif, by the tides, you got to battle back. Waves in the shore. We're getting short Adobe 531.40s, the level I liked in the book, are risking to 532s. Let's get that bread. Fingers crossed that this creative suite ends up being pretty sweet for me. Shout out to Adobe Creative Suite. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just got back looking at the future now. I'm not really looking at some of these small cap gappers like I was in the morning, but look at this. SMX, go. Redfin, go. Jivo, go. SMMT's kind of, yeah, it's trying, Fabian. I mean, doing its best, but we can't really expect too much of it here. Double bottom right now with two bottoming tail candles on SMMT, and this has been, I don't want to say it's been the strongest of the bunch, but have a look at this daily chart. Put some respect on this daily chart's name, man. Fantastic look here. So even intraday, we are off the highs at 33s. We are still doing quite well. And I do like this double bottom that it's putting in at 31.50. I don't need to be first, but I want to see, is this just, you know, a moment in time and then we make a newer low to come maybe back into that volume weighted average price? We did breach the 20, but look at the closing prints. They're awfully close to the 20 right now. So I'm interested in SMMT as a possible continuation to the long side. But we'll pack our patience with that one. Now, like the Mag 7, or like, what are we doing here on the future? 19.561 topping tail, come back in, breach 19.5, and now we're trying to hold the volume weighted average price. We do have this area crest in the pre at around 130. Not going to really place too much weight into that area because it's on very light volume, but we are trying to hold the volume weighted average price right now on the NQ September contract, but we're still south of that 100-point level at 19.5. Which are the strongest names on the day now in Mag 7 world? Pattern-wise, not percentage-wise. I would submit to you, Microsoft looks the best. Shout out to Gorev. Gorev's been talking about Microsoft all dang day, and I hope he had fantastic trades on it. He's been letting me know exactly where he was looking to get long. I believe he did actually get long at 428. For that ascent into that 429.5. I told him I was looking for a 430 touch today. I don't think that's beyond the realm of possibility because we have a 429.5 HOD. We didn't even come back into volume weighted average price though, Gorev. Like I was waiting for a possible breakthrough 428, maybe in the high 427s. It didn't. It just gave me this bottoming tail candle over here, and then we went up along and made new highs. Still below the high of the day though. I feel like I don't have too many trades on at the moment or ideas for trades other than to look at my Amazon. This kind of bottoming tail right now on Amazon into that kind of low 186s kind of mimic, it's not the exact same level as that candle from 930, but we bounced off 186 almost to the penny. We got into 185.91 and then we ended up moving back into 188.50. We're kind of near that area right now. We're bouncing. It looks like another hammer candle forming right now off that, breaking through that 186.50 level. So Amazon looks interesting, possibly as a long at the low, well below VWAP, obviously, and negative 1/3% on the day. Let's flip back to SMMT. SMMT is looking like it's going to hold that 31.50, so much so that it's above 32. What I will be operative for me here is if we can continue with the trend that we had prior, which was higher highs. Now, obviously, this is more of the liquid time of the day, right? That 9:30 time slot till about, right at 11:30. Then we began our consolidation phase. It doesn't mean that we do that all afternoon, but I need to see proof that we're going to move and trend in the same way or similar to the trend that was happening before. So I don't want to get caught up on this trading a name that's moving in a consolidative way and try to take it as a breakout trade, because that's just a recipe for trouble. But I'm going to keep my eye on it. SMMT Adair.
Yeah, we're also going to thank our friends here at Trade the Pool. So Trade the Pool thank you so much for sponsoring us there. Becoming a funded trader means trading with a firm's money instead of your own. At Trade the Pool, you'll first complete an evaluation by hitting profit targets while managing risk. Once you pass, you get access to up to $260,000 in buying power, and you keep up to 80% of your profits. Well, the firm covers the risk. It is the perfect way to trade big without risking your own funds. Ready to become a funded trader? Join Trade the Pool. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. So yeah, there we go. Thank you so much to Trade the Pool. How do I close my screen? We'll never know.
Yeah,
there we go.
F11 here.
Sorry. Yep. So basically Adobe, we did get stopped out of this. It ended up being a bit of a bottoming tail candle there. And honestly, saw some stuff in the book. I was probably like, yeah. And then also, so I had a midpoint stop because of the spread. Actually ended up slippage, lost a little bit more than I wanted to. So I think definitely trading these spreadier names with stops that might have to change how we do some things. That's certainly going to be something to reflect on. This has not been the best trading day of my life, but there have been some solid trades. I definitely want to discount that or disparage that, right? Really proud of the Starbucks short. This was an Adair Panera range. Played it appropriately. All good there, baby. Looks like we're probably almost getting flattened. I think the stop's probably hitting there in a second. I believe that it's set at 71. So nice look there. If any scalp setup, it might take some here. But the other range I missed that I tried to play that I wasn't really able to earlier here is this Apple, bless you, continuing to hold up really well at 223.30s. This is a great look, but we keep rejecting that 223.85 level. It was actually a level here that I had identified as a profit taker when I was briefly in that long. We didn't get anywhere near there. But look at that support resistance flip. I like that level. That is a dope level. So we'll have to see if that hits that. If it rejects that, things get spicy and not in a good way. But Freddie the Friendly Guy saying jump in some SMX. I am not a small cap trader. I will leave that to my friend here on the right. But I think that's what's great about this desk because you trade a little bit of everything, right? I'm going to give you guys some of the spreadier tickers. Speaking of which, I will give an SMCI talk in a moment here. Shrew's got the small caps. It's a nice little beautiful tapestry of different trading styles. And I think that can be pretty fun. So we'll look at Boeing. We'll look at SMCI, and then we'll visit that Boeing move to the downside on that report that, Okay, so I had this line drawn. This is definitely an older line here, and look at how well it respected that. That is crazy. That 455 area. Oh, I remember this day we were ultimately in 455 and 457. That was a day. But look at these lower highs here, right? Then we make a bit of a double bottom, not perfect here at that 455. Let's see what we do here. If I remember correctly, the last day we did this, 459 was the level of resistance. And 455 was the level we chopped around here. Let's see what we do at 459. For the SMCI'd one, because that could certainly be a bit of, I'll be eyeing that level in SMCI, I'll tell you that for free. Also, and again, that's one thing too, sometimes I'll be a bit disparaging of my memory because I do have an eidetic memory because sometimes it's embarrassing, whatever, you shouldn't have to remember everything. For trading, it helps because I know that 455.
Embarrassing.
I don't know, because there'll be times where people will be like, oh, it's weird you remember that. I don't know, but it helps for trading because you remember numbers.
I'd be proud of it.
To be fair, that line helped, but I saw that line and I was like, you know what, that was a level I liked, so. I remembered the exact day that happened. So good look there. Let's figure out what happens here on Baba Black Sheep. Have you any planes? I don't know. But wow. Oh, Sharif.
Get it, Adara.
I don't like that sound though that I made there. 157. Look at that base, right? That's the start of the uptrend. Topping tail candle and Boeing quadruples from the sky. Just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And then that last umbrella pattern, Crumbles down. We got all the rain falling. Also, we could stop at a Starbucks, but we had all that rain falling to the downside, right? Now we wicked up here, though, into that previous support area of 157.50. Let's find out what happens there. Also, RSL, yeah, got stopped out. And you know what it does? It just keeps climbing. So shout out to Oracle. I know Elon in the chat is long this one. I think probably a couple other people are as well. So shout out to all of you guys. I clearly did not have the stop planned appropriately on this. And I love also that my stops are in an uptrend, much like the stock. That's actually kind of adorable. It's all good. You know, you live, you learn. Moderna, you Malerna. You live and you Malerna. So Moderna, this was my best name yesterday by far. It might have been my best name this week. Really happy with what I did with this. And today wasn't bad either. We got stopped out, break even for half of it. We got this pop kind of up here into 70s on the other half. So let's see here if it keeps bouncing off that 90 MA level around 67.20, which for the record was an interesting level yesterday as well. I'll show you guys 67.20. Here was 67.20. So 67.20 was the level that once we broke out of that, we really never had another kind of move to the downside. So 67.20 in Moderna, I contend, is a pretty cool area. And it's always nice when areas hold up on multiple days. I will stop yapping for now. Someone in the chat was saying they like when I yap. I'm yappy to hear that. I am yappy to hear that. You know, things that work for different people. You got to make it work. How are you doing?
I think you have a lot of traders that like the way you trade it, Dara, so they're going to want to hear what you have to say about stuff. So shout out to you. Kill it. Personally, here's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find the bottom here on Amazon, see if that wants to continue into this 187 area, which is the area that we found support at earlier before we broke down, obviously, here at around 1220. So we'll see if that one wants to find a bit of a bounce, obviously keeping my eye on the futures. Yeah, sure, Dara, I think, yeah. Okay. So we're good. Oh, thank you, Ram, for that, for reminding us. I'm also in WHLR, possibly to defend 6 over here. We zigged and zagged. We had a couple of fake out breakouts, and that's not unusual for the midday. That's the thing, right? And that's why I was putting some respect on SMX's name, because it's kind of showing up midday. Now, what I see here is a possible head and shoulders pattern. That's why I've accounted for that, and I put my stop in place to basically take me out of the trade if that head and shoulders manifests. I like that $6 hold, but if it doesn't hold 6, then we're gonzino on that. Simple as that. Now, the spread is opening up here a little bit, which means that the volume's drying up, which means that I may not want to be in this trade for that much longer. We'll have to wait and see whether or not 6 holds. Right now, 4 bottoming tail candles, all of which have bounced off 6, but it's breaching now. 595 going. I'm going to get stopped out if it drops anymore. Do you want to say bye to everybody?
I guess I should, yeah. Also, I will leave you guys with a level. Tesla 228.60. If I was still here, I'd be going long this. I'm just telling you guys, it looks really good on the book. So Tesla 268.60. With that, I bid you all adieu. I hope you had a great day. I had a lot of fun with you guys as always. Give Satya a big warm welcome. Thank you, Sri, for being here with me. Thank you, Trenda, for being here with me as well. And shout out to Ramin for making us laugh in our ear. Very upset I can't take this Tesla trade, but I hope someone in the chat takes it for me, because that's a pretty dope level. And with that, I bid you all adieu. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the Flippity Flip.
Appreciate you, Dara. Thank you so much. We're going to wait for Satya to come on over, set up her station, and we will introduce her to everybody. Very pumped for this. Another female trader on the show. I think that is very good, and I think our viewers would like that as well. Whew, Dara, you scared me there. All right, so we're still in WHLR, Ram, where we're looking to defend that $6 level. Still in Amazon, looking for Amazon to work its way up. It's having issues currently still. I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm ambitious with where I want to get out, but I want to get out a little bit above or below, excuse me, that 187 level. But it's obviously having trouble just breaking through the $0.75 level. It's been weaseling up into $0.75 with a bit of resistance. Shout out to Gorev, who's letting me know that Microsoft just printed the high of the dang day. It is on the way to 430. Great call out by you, Gorev, man. You've been on Microsoft all day. I hope you're printing out multiple thunderstorms on that side of the screen. I'm very happy for you, brother, because I know that you were telling me about this when we got on the show. So Softy, essentially a 430 high a day, 429.99. This one looked destined to get there. Every single low has been higher than its predecessor, save and except for this quick woo. And there goes 430 into the $0.25. This one is squeezing. I guess we haven't been up in 430 in a hot minute. Let's just go back to the hourly here. No, we haven't. Okay, so it's been a hot minute over here since we've been at 430. I think it takes us all the way back to late July. Okay, so not that long, but yeah, good look Shout out to you, Gaurav. Great move up here on, what's it called? Microsoft. We're looking almost to get printed here on Amazon, and there's the print. Happy with this trade. Let's let this cook, baby. We're long 67s. We just printed 87, so let this one go up. Ideally, I'm thinking it probably rejects off 187. Only reason I'm thinking of that is, at least initially, is because of this area trough over here that we put in. What time was that? At around 11 o'clock, right at the start of the show. So if we get continuity here, I'd like to hold on to this and get a bit more. All right, we're already 30 pennies in the money on this name, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're going to put the beak wetter up at 98. Gosh, what's life without whimsy? I don't know. There's nothing at 98. I just like the number. All right, let's keep watching over here. WHLR, at least for the moment, defending 6. You got that quick wick down, but look at the closing print. What is important for me is the closing print. It held. All right, so I didn't get wicked out owing to where I had my stop. That's nothing to do with my skill, but certainly my luck, because I had no idea it was going to wick into 591. I had no idea to know. So we'll see if we can get back up possibly into that 620 area. I'd like to print at 633. I'm thinking that it's the right thing to do to add here because it's so close to my out. So I'm going to add at this level and come what may. I'm going to have to adjust my stop, obviously, which means that I got to change it on the side screen and that whole thing. So we're going to look over here to see which one. There it is, WHLR. So now we're going to have to account for this one. Yeah, so we're going to go out at there, and then we'll put it to there, and then we'll put, there we go. So now everything's done and accounted for. Let's keep an eye on that. What's SMMT doing? Because that was awfully interesting. Okay, so still doing the range, and if I had to actually give an assessment of what it's doing, it's putting in lower highs and lower lows, quite frankly. So I'm not liking this until another key area of support. I'm thinking possibly volume weighted average price because it's breaching the 10, the 20. Now the 10 is looking down. It's pointing down on SMMT. So yeah, this could be more of like a come into $30, $30.50 area where VWAP is. Keep in mind that there is support at 31. There is this topping tail candle that we put in at 945 that rejected 41. We weren't able to reclaim 41 on a closing basis until this candle over here, 1055. So basically 5 minutes before the show. So we whiffled and waffled for a hot minute below 31 before taking it. So I'd like to see if 31 holds. I don't have to be first, but if it does, I'm definitely interested in getting back into this name. What a good look it has been. All right, WHLR again below 6. So I'm going to have to be careful here. We just added, but I like the add area. If it ends up stopping me out, it's not too much of a loss because, well, we added close to the lows. So WHLR holding 6, but below VWAP. So I got to tell you, flat out, I'm breaching my rule. I'm taking a small cap gapper long south of VWAP, but I'm trying to base it off that $6 level. That's my thinking here. So we'll see exactly whether that manifests or not. Shout out to everybody in the chat telling me about DJT. This was one hell of a Christmas tree retracement, an inverted V. We start off the day at 16, looks like 1610, maybe a little bit less. We weasel up into 17, triple top on the 5 minute. At that 17, we get technically into 1707. But the schmuck like me who punched in at the volume weighted average price was met with more L's as this one gave up the ghost at VWAP at 5 afternoon and hasn't looked back since then. It's been lower lows and lower highs and trying to hold up possibly ahead of the 16 in the mid-teens. We'll see whether or not DJT can really run up. I didn't see any specific news with Donald today. I was passing Brendo's desk and I happened to see that he's refusing to do any debates, basically saying that the debate last time was going to be the one and only. So I don't think that's really market moving news or anything like that. But let me know when you're ready. Eh? Yeah. So we'll keep tabs on that. SMX though, bro. Whoo! Baby, here comes 7 on SMX. Okay, so 689 HOD. We're right at the high of the day right now. It looks like it wants to get taken out, zigging and zagging. We're going to have to see what it does at the whole dollar, but just understand that this is awfully, it's awfully small. So Trade Ideas has the float for SMX at 1.1 million. I should tell you that my platform says otherwise. My platform says 30.3 million shares. Trade Ideas saying 1.1. In any event, the short float, according to Trade Ideas, is 12.25. So that's not the biggest I've ever seen, but certainly can get a little parabolic. All right. All right, guys. We told you. We had a guest trader on today, and we certainly will not disappoint. Welcome, Satya.
Yes. Hello, guys. My name is Satya, and I am a trader on the day trading floor. So essentially, I've been here for about 8 months. So I started in November. So a little backstory on my trading history. I actually didn't start trading in stocks. I started trading in crypto. And so I started around 2021, and it's kind of like a funny story. So essentially, my friend told me about it a couple years ago, and he's like, you know, you need to get into this Bitcoin. And I'm like, what the heck is a Bitcoin? Like, what is that? Like, is that like funny money, Chuck E. Cheese money, Monopoly money? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But he's like, you know what? You have to get into it. So every time I would ask him, though, I was a little bit wary of it. And I was like, you know, how's that Bitcoin trading going? And he'd be like, oh, I lost $1,000. And I was like, why the heck would I want to invest in something if you're losing money? And so it wasn't until 2021, I was actually working a serving job that I totally hated. And I had actually gotten in a little bit of an altercation with my manager, and they weren't giving me enough hours and things like that. And so at the end of my shift, I was like, you know what? I had some money saved up. I'm like, I'm just going to dive deep in this crypto thing. So went home, it was around 2 a.m., got all my money, had some cash, went straight to the bank, invested, put the money in ShakePay, and that's just how I got started. And so I was doing a lot of research on like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And at the time, I was like a broke university student, like let's be real. And so Bitcoin at the time was like $50,000, and Ethereum was around $1,500 to $1,800. So I'm like, okay, it makes more sense for me to, you know, invest in Ethereum. So I bought 5 Ethereum at the time.
Damn.
And so, yeah, I essentially got in at a really good time because that was around like the break of December of 2017, like the break of that. So I got in at a really good time. 8 months later, I woke up, my account was 400% in the money. And I was like, oh my goodness, like bang, 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 bang. And so I was so happy. And so at the time, I didn't know how to trade. So I just took all the money out and sent it to my ShakePay account. And I was just like, okay, yeah, ShakePay, shout out to ShakePay. And so, yeah, it's the ish. And essentially, I sent it to ShakePay, and I just didn't believe it was real. Like, I hit my ShakePay account. I bought one of these, actually. So this is a Ledger, if anyone knows. This is like a crypto wallet. And so sent it from my Ledger to my ShakePay, and it just didn't feel real. And so I sent it to my bank account, and I'm like, this still doesn't feel real. I felt like the IRS or like the CRA was gonna bang on my door and be like, how the heck did you get this money? And so, so it wasn't until it was like tangibly in my hand where I was just like, this is real, like it's not a scam. Like, because everyone says, you know, you can't, you know, take out crypto. And so that really like revolutionized like my outlook on, you know, trading. And so essentially, you know, the crypto market took a dive in 2021. And so that's when I started to get into trading. And, you know, the crypto market wasn't doing too well. So I started to look at prop firms and things like that. And I stumbled across, you know, Day Trade the World. And I was like, okay, I don't really exactly know how to trade stocks. Like, I didn't really get into that. But, you know, it's been revolutionary being here. It's been great. It's been amazing.
That's amazing. I had to do no work there. I got to tell you, I was like expecting to ask you questions. You had everything lined up.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a story. So like you went from high to low to high again. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I honestly got in like at a good time. I was like barely out of the money at all. So I kind of got lucky at the time.
Can I ask you why Ethereum and not Bitcoin?
I didn't want a couple of Satoshis. I wanted like a full crypto, like Ethereum. I bought 5 at the time, and so I just wanted to make sure that I could catch the full move, and so that's why I ended up buying it.
You don't like any of that like smart contract stuff with it? Do you like any of that stuff with it?
I don't get into like Dogecoin or anything like that. That's kind of like the sketchy, you know, part of crypto. I just stuck to Ethereum, and that's just what I.
That's amazing. And like what I hear, and you correct me if I'm wrong, since you have a better crypto background, crypto respects TA more than equities? Yes or no?
I would
is that
say,
a fallacy?
I would say technical analysis is much more indicative. Like when I was looking into trading, essentially I was just looking at the candlestick patterns, and so I would just look at the charts literally for hours a day. I would sleep with my laptop like near my bed, and I would just look and I would see, and I would just like see, what the patterns were, and so that's how I started to get into like technical analysis.
Did you trade today?
I did not trade today. I was a little bit I was shaking like a leaf, but I'm glad to be here, and I just wanted to, be prepared.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on today. I was going to ask you, did you have any trades for us? Did you have any setups that you were looking at today that you want to share with everybody? What's the situation? Let me know. Because no pressure.
Yeah.
I can just talk about this trade real quick here. We're in SMX. I'm looking at this one bouncing back into the quarter dollar. I'm looking for higher lows to hold up on this pattern, getting off that $6 area where we know we had a quick area of support during that retracement. We did touch 7 super quick, but there is a seller in the high teens, low 20s. We have to see whether or not there's enough buying power to remove this seller. So packing my patience, looking for another move up. I love these small cap gappers that come up midday. What kind of stock trade are you? Or tell us about your equity trading. What's your wheelhouse?
Yeah, for sure. So usually I like to do mid caps to large caps. Typically I like the Mag 7 just because I feel like the volatility kind of follows crypto, and that's what I'm more of like a volatility trader, more momentum. So essentially, like VWAP is my best friend. A lot of the time, my trades are based off of VWAP. So right now, like even NVIDIA, and I love NVIDIA. That's like, I love semiconductors. And so if we look into right here, a lot of the time my trade setups are like pretty uniform. So a lot of the time I like to call it like a VWAP floor. So essentially what I'm looking at is a hold of VWAP. So I like this consolidation here. And essentially if I were to enter a trade right now, I would be risking, this low here around 118.97 and going for that long and hopefully. So I'd probably do that around that.
Amazing. All right, there we go. Just got the print finally here on SMX. I love that because VWAP for me is kind of one of those lines in the sand. But let me ask you, so obviously, we don't want to use moving averages that aren't working. If we don't want to use technical areas that have been disrespected throughout the day, even though they look good on the chart. Are you a hard and fast, I'm sticking to my VWAP, or are you watching how the actual instrument trades with that particular indicator on the day? Sometimes I get bamboozled trying to get it on VWAP and it doesn't care about what I think. I
would say today, just because I feel like we're kind of like in a consolidation range. Like I don't like the fact that we're just between this 117.60 and this 119.94. So essentially, because we didn't break that 120, I'm a little bit skeptical to even, take this trade. So like, I like the fact that it's consolidating VWAP, but because, it's around 112 and we're not really breaking this 120, I probably wouldn't take it as of right now. But if we were to take that 120 and break above this, day's high, then I would definitely be interested. Especially, between 3 and 4, like hopefully that momentum during power hour and get in from there.
What instruments what indicators do you use? What tools do you use for the trading?
Typically I use the moving average and VWAP. Like those are usually the only two that I use. Sometimes I use the ATR just to kind of see, what the average range is for the day. So essentially, before I'll have like a chart that I use, and so I look at the ticker, I look at the volume, I look at the average ATR on like a daily basis, a minute basis, 15, 5-minute, hour, things like that. And so I kind of like to see, what the average range is to kind of see, are we falling within that range? Like if it moves, if the stock moves like $9 within a day, for example, and it's already moved $8, well, okay, we're kind of near, that ATR high already. So essentially, I'd be kind of wary to get in, but that's what I like to do typically.
Amazing. Can you take us through a typical trading day? So you come in, you got a scanner, or are you just looking at the Mag 7?
So essentially what I like to do is I look at Yahoo Finance. So a lot of the time I look at the trending tickers. I kind of call myself like a lazy trader in the sense that I do like, have a plan, but essentially I want to look at stocks in play. I don't want to just, have a stock where it's just consolidating all day, because when I first came here, I didn't really know what the stock movements were for the average stock. So I like to just, get into stocks that are already in play. And so the trending tickers, they're trending for a reason.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, that's what I usually like to get into. So a lot of the time I'll look at like the pre-market high and the pre-market low, and I'll use VWAP as kind of my bias. So essentially, if we are, trending above VWAPs, so like what can we, go back there.
Can we show our chart, guys?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so essentially, like an ideal trade for me is essentially I'm looking for the break of like a pre-market high. So right here, so this was September 11th on Wednesday. So essentially this break would probably be my ideal, entry point. So this one was around 928, and I really love those morning drive trades. So essentially, I would be risking below VWAP because VWAP is my friend, right? And essentially, I love to risk below VWAP just because I find that if it's going to trend, it's usually not going to break VWAP. So I find that if it does break VWAP, then my trade is wrong, and I'll usually put my stop loss there, and I won't even try again until 10 a.m. where maybe a new trade setup starts. But essentially, yeah, that's where I usually try to get in.
That's amazing. You kind of took my next question right there. I was about to ask you, do you trade the open?
I love the open.
You like the open? Because the volatility,
open.
but you just said you like volatility.
Exactly.
So I figured, yeah, there's no way she doesn't trade the open. Shout out to you. I stay away from the open, but to each their own. I'm just going to update everybody on this SMX trade. Guys, we're still putting in higher lows on this name. It's very volatile. There is a seller in the low 30s. I see him there at 33, or them, whoever. It's zigging and zagging. Like, I think it worked its way up into 34s, but the bid isn't following up as aggressively. I'm encouraged by the higher lows that it's put in, but I wet my beak there, and I've moved up my stop to account for this area trough. So if it breaches the area trough, I want no more smoke, and it's going to have to hold that higher low situation with SMX. I'm staying clear of adding here, as I'm unsure whether 6 gives way or not. It's defended well, to be fair, because it's been putting in higher lows, and the only breach that we had locally there at 6 after 1 got bought up super quick, and in fact, the closing print is north of that $6 area. So it's not a bad look, but we do have a seller in and around that low 30s, high 20s area. We'll have to see if we can take them out. Initially, though, there was a seller of note at the $0.25. I believe that person did get taken out, or it's a new seller who stacked, or the same seller, I should say, stacked at 33. So we'll keep tabs on this one and see whether it can break through that level on a closing basis or not. Right now, back into the high 20s we go. Let's see if we can break through 30. Okay, new seller moved down, looks like, from 33 into 29s. Zigging and zagging at 29s. Can we take it out? We do take it out. But now we're being met with a wall of selling literally at every penny. We're 29s, we have big boy selling. 31s, we got big boy selling. So this might be a recipe to get the hell out of here, or it's going to break through these guys and go parabolic. Again, here comes that 33 seller. Again, let's see if we can ascend. Okay, we're ascending. Here come the 40s. And I'm going to put right here, happy with this trade on SMX as we do breach that 40 penny area. But true to form, we never get the top. Happy with this trade, though. We'll set up for the next one. I should tell you that John Trump is bouncing off 16 as well, on the way to 16 a third for whoever is trading that or interested in trading that. We'll keep tabs on this one. I also got printed on Amazon. Happy with this trade as well. We got in at the 2/3 of a dollar. We took it out at the whole dollar. The reason I took it out at 187 is strictly because of this area trough that we put in earlier on. So I was under the impression that we would get rejected at 187. That's why I set my beak wetter there, but shows how much I know because we weaseled up into that 187 and a third. I want to shout out my main man, Gaurav Sharif. Took a swing long on Micron yesterday. Was a liquidity grab on the 1 hour. Special thanks to Neil Roberts for always talking about liquidity grabs. We're going to shout out Neil, baby. But I also want to mention that OB does talk about liquidity grabs as well. I've heard that out of his mouth many, many, many times. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's have a look at Micron for Gaurav. Anything that you want to let us know, by the way, feel free to interrupt me. If anything that you see, that jump in there. So let's put the ticker for Micron and have a look at what this one is doing on the day. Well, let's zoom out a little bit here so we can see exactly how that price action manifested yesterday. So this is what I'm assuming you see there, Gaurav. Shout out to you. That is a nice hammer candle there, bouncing into 80 or rejecting, sorry, 84, and then bouncing right back up quick as you like. Where did it close out? Closed out at 87 and change. So I remember putting this one on the afternoon rundown, and when we had mentioned it, it was in the process of that bounce. So well off the lows. Shout out to you, Gaurav. Good trade for you, my man. This is the half an hour, not the hourly, but you get it. You can see the bottoming tail candle there that took out all these areas of support at around 85 and a quarter. But that was quickly met with buying because we did, in fact, close higher than that 85 a quarter on every half an hour candle there at about 85 and a half. So good look right now for Micron. And Micron's having a hell of a day, Gaurav, too, man. We just printed high of day on MU. Let's go to the 5-minute right now and have a look at what it's doing. Yes, 91.47. Sorry, that's not we didn't print that high day. That was at 10:30, but we are almost at the high of the day. 91.41, the high is 91.47, essentially coming into that area of technical resistance at the $0.50. We'll have to see whether that gets breached, or do we get a quick rejection and a move back into the 10 exponential only to breach that level later. So Micron, shout out to you, man. Good call out there. And whoever took that off that 90 and a half as well was doing well for themselves there. So we'll pack our patience and see what sets up. Sharif, how do you know where liquidity is? It's a great question. You really need to keep an eye out on the tape. And sometimes you can see it on the chart as well. When something dips into that level and then the aggression with which the buying comes in and pushes it up, like what I just showed you on Micron there, where we almost spent like no time at the level. Let's actually look at the level on the 5-minute. Look at that. Who was that asking? Green bar. Look at that. Look, this is the 5-minute look on the liquidity yesterday. So we opened up at 9:30. We basically opened up at around $87. Within one 5-minute candle, we dropped from 87 to 84, a little above 84, so from $3. But look how quickly that buying was. They bought it, and the candle ended up going from 84, and we closed up at 85 and 2/3. So that's kind of what I mean by liquidity grab. And look at the subsequent price action. It's literally a V-shaped retracement. So you can see it on the chart, but you can also see it on this. This is the time in sales. And you can kind of gauge the buying by how exuberant the buying is coming in. So on my time in sales, each color means something different. So green is going to be buying at the ask, but orange is going to be buying above the ask. And that really shows buyer exuberance. The same holds true for the selling. On the sell, you're going to, on my color over here, the red means selling on the bid, but the blue means selling below the bid, and that means seller exuberance. So oftentimes I can just look at the time in sales and I can kind of see how the instrument is moving at the time just based on the colors. But that requires a little bit of practice, and you got to have that option on your software, and not all of them do. So so I hope that answers your question. Gaurav, I'm going to now manage this trade. He's talking about Microsoft. Shout out to Gaurav. Adrian, can you ask her if she can show us her indicators on the chart, particularly the DEMA indicator? And she's going to get that set up for you guys. When she does,
what did you guys want to look at? What stocks?
Whatever you want. I mean, I think they just want to see the indicator, whatever we want to look at.
Okay, for sure.
What do we got? Eve?
This is Etsy.
Okay.
Etsy, because that is on the trending ticker list right now. It doesn't seem like it's moving too much, honestly. I like that it's holding above VWAP, but I feel like the volume really isn't there as of right now. But what did you want to see with the double EMA? Like, what are you looking at?
So I don't know specifically, but here's what Adrian says. Can you ask her if she can show us her indicators on the chart, particularly the DEMA? Perhaps maybe go into like what your use is. Are you just bouncing off, or are you gauging sentiment like crossovers, extension away from the moving averages? Like that, like sometimes what I say to the guys is, like, I'll be trading these small cap gappers, and then I'll look at where the price action is relative to the 10 EMA. And if we're well extended away from the 10 EMA, I'll kind of be biased more for a retracement. I won't want to enter along if it's so extended from the 10. So I'm not just using it for things that are bouncing off it. I'm looking for crossovers. I'm looking for overbought, oversold conditions. How do you use it?
Usually I like when it's trailing. So essentially, like as of right now, I like the fact that it's kind of hugging. Like on Etsy right now, I like the fact that it's hugging.
Love it.
Yeah, this is the WMA right here. And so, yeah, I just like the fact that it's hugging this double EMA right now. So as long as we could, stay above VWAP, I think that this would be a good trade. But again, I think as of right now, maybe if you're doing long term, it might be worthwhile looking at. But as of right now, for a day trade, it's not really moving much, to be honest, as for ATSI. So, but that's how I usually.
And it's not bad that it's up. Remember, got it taken out of the S&P 500. That was probably a tough day for it, too.
Yeah,
a couple
for
days
sure.
ago.
Yeah.
All right, I want to shout out, Hey Davis, $10 super chat. This is for you, Satya. We like this girl. Satya from the trading floor. She needs to be on more often.
Thank
How
you.
many more talented people? There's still more, Satya.
Oh, so
How
many,
many more
so many.
talented people do we have at our disposal in the trading room? Much respect. You're getting love already from the chat. And I should let you guys know that you can tag Satya in the chat. She is in the chat.
Yes.
If she chats. I told her.
I chat.
She's good. She's good.
I'm just, getting used to everything. It's a big opportunity
For sure.
So I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, but I'll get into it. I'll get the hang of it. Just
You're good.
give me some time.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll keep an eye out on these markets here. Let's look at SMX. So happy I got out of Dodge there super quick with that print at the 40 penny area because it just gave 6 up in short order. It is on the way down. It looks like here into the volume weighted average price, but the VWAP on my chart, I should let you know, is at 5 1/3. Where is the price action support? Well, it looks like that 5 1/4, 5 1/5. Let's see if we get that bounce off SMX. It's up 130%. I told you guys that I have a bit of conflicting data with respect to SMX. We're seeing either 1 some odd million share float, or my platform is saying 30 some odd million. In any event, it's a 12 1/4% share float. So kind of explains why it went parabolic midday, but fantastic look here on SMX. We'll keep an eye on this one. Not much for me to do at this moment, to be honest with you. The future just printed day's high. It is really Microsoft's story right now. Shout out to Gaurav. Microsoft is flying to the high side. It does not have a green candle since 12:50. That's almost half an hour of absolute, or does not, red candle, I should say, since 12:50. It's been uninterrupted green to the high side, baby. Taking out 430, taking out 431. We haven't been up here since mid-July. I really don't know what the catalyst is for Microsoft on the day, but we did obviously have some, I believe, the OpenAI, maybe a valuation of 150 billion. The funding round over here, people talking about Tiger Global plans to join OpenAI's funding round. Last we heard it was about 150 billion. Some people saying 100 billion. We'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, what's your look over there?
So right now I see someone saying Uber in the chat. I really like the fact that it's breaking through that VWAP. I feel like people are starting to understand,
Be right back.
my trading style. And so, yeah, so I like this 72 level. I like the fact that it's an even dollar. And so let's see what we do here. Let's just see. So right now we are at 71.95. We're down $1.50. You know what? Not to fret right now. I'm going to put my stop here at 71.80. You know what? I don't really want to get liquidity grabs, so let's even do like 71.79, just so we don't even get licked out there. So let's just get into that. Let's see, 71.75. We got through. All right. So, we're rejecting a little bit off of that VWAP. It's at 71.88. I have my stop in at 71.79 to 71.75. So Tesla, is a Tesla a buy now? Let's look at that, Tesla. So I'm just gonna leave that in. We're just gonna leave that Uber, have my stop in. So let's see what we got here. Tesla, I would say for the most part here, so I'm just going to bring this here. Tesla, it looks like a downtrend here. So I usually like to just draw this trend line here. The fact that we're not breaking through VWAP, like it broke through VWAP around 1134, and it really hasn't broke through this 231, 230.98 levels. So the fact that we're just kind of, the resistance level here, I don't like that. It doesn't really look very bullish to me. So I would say pretty bearish on Tesla as of right now, but let's see. I would say if I was getting into Tesla, I would probably, post around 229.70 and see what we do from there. But as of right now, not looking too great, Let's go back on our Uber. What is Uber doing? Not breaking above that VWAP yet. What I really like, though, is Adobe. Adobe is looking pretty decent as of right now. This one's at 533.90. It's rejected off of VWAP as well at 124. So it's at 533.90 as of right now. So if we can get some volume in there, I think that this would be a good trade. But I would say a nice post would probably be 536.20, kind of breaking through this consolidation here. Oh, I don't even have it on this chart. Bear with me. Yeah, so I would say even with Adobe, like even breaking through this 536.84, just getting through this consolidation, posting up there, and I believe that if we can get through here, it's looking clear skies to me.
All right, I like it. Okay. I'm in softy over here. We're going to take advantage of this strong move. I got in at the highs, obviously, so I'm looking to defend 431. We're going to take small positions here. The future is, I think it just printed the day's high right now, so lots of strength in the NQ at the moment, but we're kind of like in no man's land, 19,567. That's not an area that I'm thinking we reject that, so we'll see if we can continue possibly into that 19.6. I don't even see us at the 10 exponential on the 5, nor have we even got back into 19,950. So we are long at 34s. We're printing 28s. We're going to look to defend 431, but there is some selling coming in now, so we're going to have to be careful here with how we trade this. Let's see if we can weasel our way back into that $0.50 area. We're got to anticipate some selling. This has been uninterrupted to the high side. Apple coming in, though. Apple getting a bit of a sell here. Big move down on Apple off that 224.04 high that it just printed, and it's kind of really enjoying this double top pattern and double bottom pattern. So double bottoms off 222 and a third or a quarter or whatever it was this morning, and now we have a couple of double tops at 224. So AAPL doing its absolute most in a range over here. So we'll see if we can weasel out or weasel into that if it allows us. We're going to set up a couple of beak wetters, though, profit takers here on Microsoft. If it does ascend, I want to be able to de-risk with some profit taking in this name. What a day for Softy it's been. Here we go up to the high side. Can we break the $0.50? The $0.50 has been elusive. There's a bit of a seller here at 41 pushing this bad boy back down. Let's see if we can continue into the $0.50. Let's see if we can move up into there. We're still at the third of a dollar. I should let you know that Amazon also, interesting area here. It's got, I think, 5 candle rejection on the 5-minute chart at VWAP. Somebody's selling up a storm here on Amazon, AMZN at 187.41. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles now that have come into VWAP, wicked into it, closed below. Not sure what's pumping up over there, but we'll see if the buyers can step in and take this one north of that level. So keeping an eye on Softy here, Adara. I mean, Satya, you got to give me a minute.
It's okay. I'll give you a couple days.
Yeah. How you looking over there?
I'm still deciding. So I got, my stop loss triggered on Uber, so not looking too good on there. But let's just look back to it. Yeah, it just rejected off of VWAP as of right now, so I'm just going to bring my chart over here. So yeah, it's rejecting off of VWAP. I don't really see a clear indication of where it's going as of right now. It's still kind of in a downtrend, from the pre-market high. So I'm not too sure. Like, I would really want to see more volume. Again, I'm more of a volume trader. So essentially, like, later in the day, I don't really feel like I have, like, the greatest handle on things. But you know what? Like, we're going to see if there's some other trade setups to go through. Yeah.
People asking how are. Please ask her what time interval she typically trades on. Thank you.
Yeah, so typically I like to look at the 1 minute, the 15-minute, and the hour. So typically a lot of the time I'm in and out within, a 1 minute to 5 minute time frame. I really like those small scalps. So yeah, that's what I usually use. And a lot of the time I like to get out right before the start of a new candle pattern. So on the hourly chart. So say, for example, I get in at 11:30. By 11:59, I like to get out, reassess, see what the market does, and then get back in if I'm going for the long, for example.
Do you chart off a particular one and execute on another? Like I chart on the 5 or the 15. I execute on the 1 or the 3. Not everybody does.
Because I usually do morning drive trades, so I'm typically looking on the hourly chart. So again, I am looking more at like pre-market high, pre-market low, and essentially looking for those breaks. those are more of like an indicator for me rather than, you know, the 15-minute, just because I feel like looking on the 15-minute, especially like on a morning drive trade, doesn't really give me like a true indication of where it's going. So maybe later in the day after 10 a.m., you know, then I'll pull up the 15-minute and the hourly, but typically 1 minute on average.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. We're in Microsoft here, got stopped out right back into defend 431, but if it doesn't hold 80, this area, well, I don't want to call it a resistance area over here, but it did stall at 430.80, at least on the minute, before moving on its merry way. It looks like it's coming back in now as the future finds a bit of a topping tail at 19,575. So we will get stopped out again here on Softy. Look to get back in if the future holds the 10 exponential on the 5. And this is kind of what I'm looking at over here. So we get a bit of a topping tail in the future, but we've seen this story before where it's done its topping tail and then continued on. It's still above the 10 exponential, which on my chart is 19,544 or thereabouts. I'm looking for this higher low pattern to continue. But if we start curling and the market wants to give it up, we'll go back south on this one. But right now, I'm not thinking that way because we're still above all these moving averages here. So let's put some respect on this one's name, C, if it wants to hold up. I don't think it's the end of the trade here for Softy. I think it holds up, but I'm going to pack my patience. I don't want to get cut up too much on it. Let's see where we could possibly get in on Microsoft. Well, 430.5 is showing me where the 10 exponential on the 5 is. I'd rather it come back into that level and trigger before, or hold, I should say, before getting back into this and getting cut up again. So I'm unsure exactly how I want to execute on this name, but I know that it's strong, and I know that it's unusually strong relative to the Mag 7, so I want to be able to take advantage of that if there is something to take advantage of. If it's going to mean revert, possibly back maybe into 430. I'm seeing 428.5 is where VWAP is on Microsoft. That's well off where we're trading right now, about $2 and change away from that. So, yeah, we'll see exactly if we can get some levels a little closer to where we're trading. I should tell you that Amazon is continuing to reject the volume-weighted average price from the south side, keeps moving up into VWAP and keeps being met with some wall of selling there. Looks like it's in the high 30s, possibly high 30s, mid 30s, in and around there. I was looking for a trend, possibly here, looking for higher lows, but it just looks like it is that run-of-the-mill consolidation pattern using VWAP as resistance. There's also this price action resistance to talk about. It may not just be VWAP. We did have this consolidation pattern here on Microsoft for the better part of, let's see, it started at 11:30, and then we kind of broke up there almost 12. So better about a half an hour where the candles closed above 187.40. Now, it's kind of that resist or support flipping to resistance using 187.40 as a possible, level off which to reject. So we'll keep tabs on that for Amazon. And I'm also keeping tabs on Microsoft. Satea.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Tesla as of right now. So I mentioned it a couple minutes ago that we saw this rejection here off of 229.56. So hitting that VWAP ceiling and banging down. So we're getting in at 228.90. I have my stop in at break even. So essentially, you know, if it gets to 228.89 or 228.90, essentially I'm going to get out for flat. But essentially, we're moving down. We're 20 pennies in the money. 20 pennies in the money. Let's get it. So, yeah, shout out to someone, whoever, I forgot who it was, but shout out to the person who made me look at Tesla. Tesla's a banger right now.
Get it. All right, I'm trying to take Softy off the 10 exponential. Where are we? We'll break even right now. Let's see. It's popping back up. Let's see if Microsoft can catch a dang bid, because I can catch a dang win, please. I'd like a win today. That'd be nice, winning gods. Let's go. Give me the print, man. Here comes that 431. Can we cross? We're being met with a wall of selling. I'm long at 80s. We just printed 431. We did reject the whole dollar level. Sadly, here we go again with the whole dollar level, and bang! We take the hit there on the high side. Now let's see if we can weasel up some more, baby. Now we got 70s because that part that was 80s we're out of, so we have a better cost basis now. If we can keep going up here on Softy, that would just be peaches, please. Let's go. Let's see if we can get our beak wet, possibly at that $0.25. We're going to front run it by a skosh. We'll put it at 23. Shout out to the OJ Michael Jordan. We'll see if we can get that continuity, but it is a bit of selling at 431. So you expect that at the whole dollar, fine. Here we go, baby. Mid-teens. Can we get that $quarter print, please? Let's go. I can use a win today, please, on Microsoft. Let's see if we can reascend into that $quarter. We just printed high teens. If we can print low 20s, I will get printed there, but we're going to have to pack said patience. Much bigger position for me, guys, than I ever usually trade on these names. As you know, if you watch the show, I don't trade big positions. That's just my style. We're taking out another piece here. Let's keep going, baby. Let's pop up into that $quarter. So a few more beak wetters here on the soft one. If we can get that $quarter, we'll have one more save a piece for the dream. Ultimately, though, we know that we were met with aggressive selling at 431 and 431.40, which is kind of a random area to have a level of resistance. You usually expect at the $0.50 or something like that. So we'll keep I'll keep my eye on this level as we inch a little bit closer into that $quarter. Hopefully I'll get printed here. Satea, how's that short going?
So I got a little bit too excited, not gonna lie, and I forgot to put in my take profit. So that was a little silly of me, not gonna lie.
First time.
Yeah, but essentially, yeah, I still see that there's resistance here again at this 229.55 level. So the thing is, what I don't like is the fact that we're rejecting off this 228.66. So the thing is, I'd want to see it retrace back up again to this 229.56 level and maybe take it off there again. But as of right now, I'm just going to hands off for right now.
Okay. Yeah, I will in a second. All right, sounds good. So Satea's going to, I like that. We're going to keep an eye on and see how the market be behaving at the moment, because we just got into 19.575, but we didn't have that continuity. We did a bit of a topping tail, but what was notable to me with respect to trend was we kept yapping about continuing to see those higher highs and higher lows, but look at the bamboozlement the market gives you on a day in, day out basis. Like, you get that print below the 10 exponential and it bounces right off the 20. But when you look at the closing print, right, it's like essentially at the same closing print. So the wicks always seem to get me in trouble. And here, I think if I was in a futures position, I would have been equally in trouble there. So we'll keep tabs on that. Amazon is back at VWAP, guys. Here it is again. It put in a nice candle there, kind of a hammer candle, but it didn't breach VWAP. It's been doing the same thing. 187.40, guys, on Amazon. It keeps on rejecting in and around there, back into the low 30s. Why do I keep talking about it and not trading it? All right, we'll have to keep an eye on Microsoft here because it's coming back into my level, and I still have a couple of beak wetters, so if it doesn't hold here, I'm gone. Let's see exactly what we get, because we definitely had trouble breaking and holding through 431. So if we're going to turn back on this market, I don't want any of the smoke, and I don't want to go negatory on this current position right now. So MSFT, give me a whole bunch to think about right here, Satea. What are you looking at?
Right now, I'm just indecisive. I'm looking at Tesla. I'm looking at Uber. I'm still not seeing that volume as of right now, honestly. I'm really sad. What else are you guys looking at? Let's switch it up. Let's look at something else.
Oh, boy. Let me ask you, do you have anything long term? Anything that you like? I know that you're in crypto, obviously.
The crazy thing is, I don't actually hold any stocks, just because I felt like that it might mess up my psychology a little bit, just having a long-term position. And so I thought about it, and it is an option, but essentially I kind of want to make myself unbiased as possible. And so when I come in, I just, look at the trending tickers, and yeah, that's smart. I'll just keep it that way.
Yeah, I know, because sometimes my biggest long-term position is Apple. Mm-hmm. And so on the day, I've gotten past this obviously now, but you don't really want to be influenced by your own portfolio when you're intraday trading.
Exactly.
If I'm biased on Apple long term, doesn't mean that it's going to do anything intraday.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree completely 100% with that. I think that that's quite wise. And we'll keep tabs on that, obviously. Let's see what she says, what people are saying, I should say, in the chat. Does she hold any treasuries? Do you hold treasuries?
No,
okay.
I don't.
All right.
Yeah, just crypto as of right now.
Crypto.
Yeah, just crypto.
Welcome, Satea, the nursed artist, saying that. People are pumped that you're in the chat, man.
Awesome.
Make sure to tag her in the chat. She's in the chat, guys, so she can answer your questions. Tag Satea. Let's see what else people are talking about there in the chat. Adara giving everybody love. Happy about that. Regilio Concepcion, Satya is awesome. There you go, Dara.
Awesome.
I mean, Satya. Shinobi, Sharif, AMD curling up. Let's have a look at AMD.
AMD.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ooh.
Bad look. How you feel about that?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. The fact that we're kind of breaking through this
Bring it on the
pre-market
screen.
high. Oh, yeah. What am I doing here?
Oh, good.
Oh. Who's logging to my trading view? Okay.
I know. So I use Adara sometimes at the big desk. I don't think she likes that.
Come on, come down. Oh, okay. There we go. Get it into screen. Okay, so the fact that we are kind of breaking through this pre-market high, I like that. I really like that. And the fact that we're above VWAP, I love it. I love it. So essentially what I would do is I'm looking at this 152.97. If we can break through that, I think it's clear skies here. But even right now, if you guys wanted to get in, I would say even risking this 152.18. Or even because I like to avoid liquidity, I'll do like 151.99. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we see some clear skies on this one.
All right.
AMD.
Send it to me again, Ram. What was the person's name that was asking the question? Okay. Apparently, there's a question for you in the chat. We're going to get it in a hot second over here.
For sure.
Oh, it's for me. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'm just in Microsoft again, guys, trying to break through this 431. I like the double hammer candle that it put there. And we're going to look to wet our beak possibly at 20s. Thank you for sending that, Ram. Let's check it out over here. Rami. All right. No, I didn't. It's on the other screen. All right. Sharif, I know you are one of the few who study this stuff as much as me. What do I do if I want to study how market makers move the market? Like study to see so I see the market from their view. That is a great question, brother. That is not something that I typically study. I do technical analysis. I think that there are ways in TA, especially with accumulation and distribution, to be able to kind of see what the market makers or at least the big money is doing. We did do a lesson on that. We had an entire week on Wyckoff's accumulation and distribution. I think a quick and easy search on our YouTube homepage would be able to bring that up. In fact, I'll take the opportunity right now to show everybody exactly how to do that, because we have such an extensive library, Ram, of of all the videos that we put in. So you go to the YouTube, Trader TV YouTube homepage, you hit that search button, and we'll type in Wyckoff. We'll put accumulation. And there we go. No, I typed that wrong. Unless Ram Didn't put it in as that. Distribution, there we go. Accumulation, distribution, part 2, 5. You should be able to, part 1. So we did an entire week on this stuff, Adira and I. So, I mean, I think that this is probably a good place to start. It's not the end all and be all, certainly, of assessing how market makers and the bigger money moves this market, but it does give you an idea of what kind of chart patterns usually manifest when they're buying or selling en masse a particular name. And so I kind of tried to make that example with Apple about the range that has been putting in between 220 and what seems to be, you know, a rising top range. Now it's 224, but it essentially was 222 prior to that. So yeah, go into that YouTube homepage, search up accumulation and distribution on Wyckoff's method, and let me know how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of a good look there. Also, I should probably tell you that a lot of the traders use Bookmap as well to kind of be able to spot these hidden areas where limit orders are sitting. I personally haven't used it, and I don't think any of the traders currently are using it, but there were certainly a lot of traders prior that were using it. So that could help as well. Any suggestions you have for anything like that to be able to kind of spot market makers, hidden orders, you know, any techniques that you've got? Tape reading?
More so I look at tape reading. I typically like to filter the chart. So typically I'll filter it around 20 shares. But I'm not too versed in that, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of the traders do that, right? They filter like the size coming in.
Yeah.
Right. So do you have multiple time in sales, multiple?
Typically I'll have 2. I'll just have one that's just like the regular time of sales, and then I'll typically have like 20 shares, like on average, or like 50, just depends.
Fair,
yeah.
Fair. Okay, we'll keep tabs on that. Random oddities, does anyone know why cutting rates by 25 bips is still good news for the market when they originally said 50? I don't think they originally said anything. They don't say anything. We make predictions on what we think they're going to do. The thing is, I have a bit of a different opinion than everybody else on this. People seem to think that that lighter than expected CPI print is going to mean 25 bips. I happen to disagree. I think the fact that we're not inflating as much is more reflective of a weakening economy than it is anything else, than it is that the Fed getting it right. I don't think they got it right. I think they were late, and they're late again. It's just my opinion. Get it, Neil. No, seriously though. I don't look at it like as everybody else. People were interpreting that inline CPI print as, you know, just, or I guess evidence that they're going to look to do 25 bips rather than 50. I don't think that that's the case. That's just my opinion. Do with it what you want, obviously, but that's my bias there. I'm still in Microsoft. We're nicely about 20 pennies in the money, but this is nothing to write home about because we are putting umpteen amount of hammer candles here, bouncing off 431. I'm looking for another move up. Let's go, Fuge. Wake up, bruh. I need that print, boy. Let's go. I'm waiting at 20s. I've been waiting at 20s today, and I haven't been getting the print, and we're about to get the print. Okay. I hope we get the print. But you know how Microsoft is. It's spready, right? And it doesn't, sometimes it gives you the print, sometimes, you know, it gives you something else.
Yeah,
a finger
sometimes
of sorts.
it just skips over you, you know, it's so annoying. It's the worst.
I like how you got my sense of humor. Thank you for that. And entertaining me there. All right.
100%.
I appreciate you. We got the print there at the $0.25. We're long 94s. Let's see if we can weasel back into highs, baby. I see a rounded bottom with bottoming tail candles, and I like that look. Shout out to everybody who's hitting the bang button there. But this is what I'm seeing, guys. You kind of get that higher low with that kind of, you know, rounded bottom sort of effect. You get these candles that are bottoming tail, and we know what bottoming tail candles mean. The buyers overwhelm sellers at that specific price. We'll see if it continues into the high of day. We got that. Okay, now we're at the third of a dollar. Oh, baby. Let's go. Can we get something at the $0.50? All right, we're going to set something up here in the low 40s to front run that $0.50 come what may. That essentially will be a high of day touch. 51 is the high of day. I'm sitting there at 42s. We're printing 33s. Let's go, boy. Let's see what we get there. I see you, Chris. I see you. He likes you as well, Chris.
Shout out,
shouting
Chris.
you out.
Love you, Chris.
How come we can't hear the bangs?
Oh, damn. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. There we go. All right. Shout out to Satan, man. Good vibes. There we go. Let's go get the print, boy. Give me the print, boy.
Yes.
Are we going to get the print? Are we? It doesn't want to give me the print, Satan. So now we get the print. I'm so happy with this trade. We took it out at highs. What are you looking at? That was all right.
Shout out to the person that shouted out AMD. Right as of now, we are 17 cents in the money. So right now, what are we looking at? Honestly, I feel like that if we can get through this 153, I feel like, you know, it's looking pretty good. But also, again, this could be, you know, a point of resistance. So as of right now, I'm just going to take the money. I'm going to take my 10 cents, 9 cents now.
There you go.
Yeah, let's do it. What else are we looking at?
All right, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Any specific tools that you like? So I know all the stuff that we get with the firm. Do you do any like scanners on Benzinga? Do you have anything with anybody like outside like the regular tools that we get every day? I know you're on TradingView a lot.
Yeah, TradingView is my best friend. Webull, I like to use, but TradingView, like we're locked in. We're locked in like this. So
You're on TradingView, right?
TradingView,
but TradingView has a
yeah.
bunch of stuff. You got scanners on TradingView, you got watch lists, so it's like you got the works on there.
Exactly.
Okay,
I'm a subscriber on, you know, TradingView. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. Microsoft is still going, guys. Microsoft is on the way up, but I should also mention that it's not the only one that's at highs. Meta is on the way to highs as well, printing 527.56. Good look for Meta over here. It does have resistance right at this level that we're at. Look at this double top from 940 and 945. We wick off 527, almost in a third, technically 58s. We're at that price right now. Meta very strong, but as Adair calls it, it's spread a baby. Shout out to Adair, who's at the big desk. All right, so that we're gonna keep our eye on Meta here. Do we meet some resistance at this level? And if so, is it an area off which to get short? I promise you one thing, you're not gonna see me short Meta at the highs. I promise you that. But there was this level as well. The institutional prints also came into that 527.5, 3/4. Are you one of those people that subscribes to the theories behind those 8 a.m. prints?
I honestly
you know
don't
what
look
I'm
at
talking about?
pre-market too much.
you
I don't
don't-
trade
you
in
don't-
pre-market.
Yeah.
9:30, that's my time.
I feel you. I know you like the open volatilities where you're at. I get that.
Yeah.
But like off levels of resistance support, you don't look at pre-market at all. Like if something's been moving in the pre, you don't look
Oh
at
yeah, I definitely look at the pre during that time, but in terms of executing the trades during that time, no.
No. Yeah.
off there, yeah.
Fair enough. What's the rule on the floor with respect to pre-market trading? Are we still pre-market?
You can, you can trade pre-market, but I find the liquidity is just like,
Sure.
it's pretty waffly, it's pretty dicey, so I try to stay away. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, guys, topping tail on the soft one right now. Look at this. Market bamboozlement central, 431.83. Topping tail candle coming in quick as you like, pushing, I guess, all the longs right out there, stopping them out. We'll see if it can print a new low, because topping tail or not, it's still a higher low and a higher high on this candle, even though the candle's ugly. We'll see if it can continue back up. I was thinking definitely a 432 touch here. We'll have to pack our patience, but I do really like this double bottom with these hammer candles here that manifested on the 5. It really did give me the confidence to get into this trade, knowing that the buyers were like, no, we're not coming down. We're going right back up, boy. So we'll keep an eye on that. Dead money today for Tesla. Dead money, I would say, for Apple. Obviously, you could have had that great double bottom in the 222s, but look what it's been doing since 11 o'clock. It's almost 2 o'clock. We've been in a range of sorts. 224 to the high side, essentially 223 to the downside. $1 range on a 200-some-odd dollar stock. Same thing for Tesla. Same thing for NVIDIA. Google, it had a bit of a good opening day. I got caught up on Google. I'm red on Google because of how this traded. I thought it was going to be directional, and it showed me that I knew nothing. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's above VWAP now, but that probably has more to do with the market pump than with any Google catalyst specifically. AMZN was able to break above the volume-weighted average price. It is putting in higher highs and higher lows, but these pops look quite anemic, to be honest with you. Moving up 10 pennies, 15 pennies at a time. So packing my patience there. What's going on there, Ram? Did we get a super chat? Okay, let's call this out over here. All right. So Dracos, $10 super chat to Satya. Welcome to the big screen, Satya. I own stock in one Bitcoin miner that holds and stake 27K Ethereum and stakes 19K of it. Do you have any opinion on Bit Digital? I guess that's the company he's invested in. Do you know anything about that?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so welcome to the big screen. I own a stock in one Bitcoin miner that hold and stake 27,000 Ethereum and stakes 19K of it, 19,000 of it. Do you have an opinion on Bit Digital? I don't even know Bit Digital.
Yeah, I haven't really heard of that, to be honest. Like typically, if I'm going to go into like a stock that like is crypto related, I'd probably do Coinbase. That's one that I'm more familiar with. I feel like the volatility is there, the liquidity is there. So yeah, I don't really have opinion on that, but I'm definitely going to do some research on it, and maybe next time I'll have a better answer for that.
Fantastic. How about the ones that are listed, like your Clean Sparks, your HUD 8, your Mars, your Rise? Any favorites from those, or they're all?
I honestly am not too versed in there.
Fair.
Honestly, to be honest, because I don't like to be too biased, I try not to even trade crypto stocks, just because my bias can get the best of me. And so when I first came on the floor, I was just like, I'm going to trade Coinbase. I'm going to trade Mara. Like this is my thing, because I know crypto. Like I'm the crypto queen, And so,
Get it, girl.
right? But then it didn't love me, and so I was just like, damn, you know what? Like I just need to play stocks and play, and so that's what I stick to.
Love it. Love it. How do you feel about Bitcoin by the end of the year? I'll put you to the sword here. Let's go.
Let's even look at the chart right now.
Okay, before we even look at the price, are you, obviously you've invested in it, so you obviously like it.
Yes.
Are you one of those people that thinks it hits like 250? Does it keep going the way it's going?
Let's just hit 100,000
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I feel like once we hit that mark, then we could really go into 200, 250,000. But as of right now, I feel like that's kind of going too much to the moon, too much rocket ship, too much, Elon Musk. So yeah, we'll stay 100K mark first.
By the way, did you see the dude, the billionaire who spacewalked yesterday?
No.
Yeah,
No,
he paid his way to space. First dude ever who's non-astronaut, non-professional astronaut to actually do a spacewalk.
He paid?
Yeah, he paid.
How
He's
much
a
money?
billionaire. I actually don't know. Probably a lot. I'm willing to bet a lot.
Damn.
How much did he pay? 2 Bitcoin? At least 2 Bitcoin, OB.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm a space buff, space nerd, so I just love that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Never heard of that.
And you mentioned Elon Musk. I mean, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
of
had to take the
course.
opportunity.
To the moon.
To the moon, yes, girl. What's that? 50 seconds. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna send it to Obi, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna send it to Obi and Neil.
Obi and Neil.
Obi and Neil, they're gonna get ready, and then I'm gonna weasel my way up to the green screen. We'll start the afternoon rundown. But thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on.
thank you for
and I
having
want you
me.
guys to know this is not her last time coming on. She's just warming up, guys.
Yeah.
Just warming up.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be on for a lot longer. We're so happy to have you stay.
Thank
you
you.
for coming on.
Awesome. See you
I
soon, guys.
appreciate you.
What
See,
is up, everyone?
what an unbelievable job there. As I was saying in the chat,